What's up, everybody? It's your boy, the Italian Stallion, here for another episode of Rebels with a Cause. You know what time it is, baby. It's Wednesday night. It's 9:30, and it's time for that cause because that cause don't stop when the clock hits zero. Gonna have an awesome show tonight, talking some preseason football, baby. Can't you feel it coming in the air tonight? Gonna talk a little high school football. Gonna talk some college football. Going to talk some NFL preseason football. Going to even talk some wrestling. Did you like Summerslam? Did it suck? What about the news today that pay-per-views could possibly now be $30 a month with the ESPN app? See ya, Peacock. A lot of people talking that wrestling is going to be costing with all the subscriptions, close to almost $300 a year or what have you, if you're thinking about with a Netflix and a cable subscription and maybe even more at this point, just to catch your favorite wrestling. We're going to talk about that. That chat box. I want it hopping tonight. Like and subscribe, baby. Whether you're watching this live or recorded, your support drives the numbers and the analytics. We are up to 88 subscribers. I would love to have 100 subscribers when West takes on Bearden in a couple of weeks. We're going to go. I'm at least going to be there live that Saturday morning from West High School, doing a live show, getting everybody hyped and ready to go for the big game against the Bulldogs that night. It's definitely a great atmosphere, regardless of what the situation is for both teams at the moment. That being said, we got an announcement that West has a big scrimmage this Friday night at Bill Wilson Field against the Catholic Fighting Irish, 6 o'clock p.m. Please get there and support. Going to be a great test. Had a great showing last week against Jefferson County. Talk about that here in a moment. But like I said, I want everybody to participate and hit that like and subscribe button. Be a part of the chat box. You drive the conversation. First and foremost, what I do want to say is that are not affiliated with those of any other organization or of Knoxville West High School. These are the RWAC crew and panel's views. Again, just deal with that at that point if you got a problem with it. Join the chat box live, point out when we've inaccurately said something in air, but also voice your opinions. You drive the show as well. What do you all want to talk about that we're on that cusp of football? Fantasy drafts are coming up next week. We're going to do a show that not only covers some football, but we're also going to do some fantasy football, to get everybody ready for their picks. Who's a hot commodity, who to stay away from, who could be a sleeper. So definitely join us next Wednesday night at 9:30 when we discuss that. But that being said, also want to give some love to King's Chamber, Miss Kim Castle over there on the Pike. Over a year open, will definitely take care of you. The haircuts, the beard trims, the um, you know, uh, get you a manicure or pedicure while you're at it. She makes sure that you are treated like the king you are at that chamber and get you the royal treatment. Also get a couple of nice tasty beverages. Let them know that Rebels with a Cause sent you and see if she can get you a discount for those services. There was also back to school haircuts. She was advertising for $15. So if you got a little one that needs a haircut, definitely go over there and take advantage of that back to school deal. I don't know how long it's running for, but she was advertising it on all social media platforms. Also got to give a shout out to Alex Thatcher, our class of 2003 friend of the show, and his Knoxville Coffee Company there in the heart of Marble City off of Sutherland Avenue. That brew is good any time of the day. So definitely go check him out. Let him know Rebels with a Cause sent you. And also got to give some love to the Razor Shop Barber Shop of Knoxville. If you're looking for something a little bit different, the old classic style, but with a twist and modern day, make you look good and suave, go hit up Josh Fink or Corey. Let them know that 332 Studios, 2 Pair Tate, and Rebels with a Cause sent you their way. That being said, and not only that, speaking of 332 Studios, follow them, Big Fact Sports Network. We carried the game live last week, the scrimmage, the play-by-play. We plan to do that again this Friday, God willing, against the Catholic Fighting Irish. So definitely check us out. If you can't watch it live, for it to upload because it's a lot, 70 minutes of footage and just giving our play-by-play. Still look roster, so if we get the players' names wrong, forgive us. But just anything to just get you ready for that football season because we're right on the cusp of it, guys. It's so exciting. So, but that being said, One more announcement. It happened after our show. We didn't have one last week because of technical difficulties and things happening to everybody on the crew. But we would have talked about it. But rest in peace, Hulk Hogan. Whether what you feel about the man as a person, he was a wrestler, an entertainer. He, was a movie star, B movies, but was in that Rocky III as Thunder Lips and did a lot for the business. The NWO, big time main events. Maybe he sat there and posed and wasn't the technical wrestler, but he sure put on a show. And when you heard that music hit, whether it was Jimi Hendrix NWO or it was the Real American, you got excited, whether you loved him or hated him. So rest in peace, Hulk Hogan. It was definitely a who's who who was there at that funeral today, and just lost too many legends in so many different avenues of business. Michael Jamal Warner for the Cosby Show, Ozzy for the music, and now another entertainer more on the wrestling side, and as well as movies, and Terry Bollea. But otherwise known as Hulk Hogan. So rest in peace there. Without further ado, let me bring on the panel for tonight. I know they're excited. They want to bring the heat tonight and, show them the love. Hit that like and subscribe button, whether you're watching it live or recorded. First and foremost, got to bring him on. He's one of the OGs, been with us pretty much from the beginning. He's our stats guy. He's our resident coach. And I'll tell you something. We love having him on and his opinions, and probably the hardest guy right now. So without further ado, show him the love and respect he deserves. The one, the only, Mr. Shane O'Mac, Shane McGee. How you doing?
I've been better.
I know, man. I know. I'm praying for you, brother. It's been rough. So
I need all the prayers, and if people start a GoFundMe for I coach a new vehicle, be great.
yeah, I might even create a banner if you want to donate to Shane's Cash App so he can get a vehicle, because he is vehicleless right now. And we had
engine blew up, radiator blew up. I've got last week the week before that was all my brakes, and week before that was the cooling system again. So
we had a week last week where a thunderstorm came through Knoxville. I lost power, didn't have it come on until about 1. We were going to do a summer. Shane's taking his son to practice, gets run off the road, and now he's carless, pretty much. Just to sum up everybody's week last week, so yeah. It was not a good week for the Rebels with a Cause.
Flooded the car out completely, got it back up and running, and then 2 days later, the whole thing locks up. So.
Just gone. So yeah. Got to give a shout out to Larry Frank, fresh off his anniversary cruise. Happy Mr. Larry Frank and the missus, and we are so happy to have you participate, brother. Just going to be talking some football and some SummerSlam wrestling thoughts. Would love to have you bring up what you thought was good, what was bad. We're going to get to that here shortly, but want to also bring on our other guest panelist. He's been a staple on here for a couple of weeks now, and if you want to be a part of the show as a guest panelist, hit me up. And I will. All I need is your email address. You can Facebook message me, whatever, and give me your email address. I'll send you the link. And if you can be a part of the show and want to be a part of the show, we will get you on, because we just love having the guest panelists come on and voice their opinions. And it's all about sports, all in good fun. But that being said, got to bring this. You knew him when you saw him at these sporting events locally. You knew it was a big game. He knows his stuff, and I'm so glad that he is healthy this year, that we'll be able to get to these games. So, I'm just so excited to have him on as a guest panelist. You know him with that great big smile, the one, the only, big game Kerry Reeves. How you doing, baby?
What's going on, fellas? How you doing tonight?
Oh, doing great, man. Glad to
have you. A lot better than last week. I'm glad you guys are all right, man.
Yeah, no, it was a shame, and I know everybody was like, are we having a show tonight or what's going on? And I think we would have had a great SummerSlam preview show and talked about it. Of course, it went a different way. I don't want to say that I told you so, but that Seth Rollins thing, I was like, geez, man, that's just, wow. That was rough. That was really rough.
There was a lot to that. And I wasn't stunned.
Yeah.
But let's just say that it didn't sit well with me that the other person involved in it, LA Knight, was nowhere on the card.
No, no.
And it's as if I don't know if he was being punished. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know. There's always been some wrestlers that, for whatever reason, if H or even Vince before him didn't like you, you were done. I mean, you just really did not have
But
a
we've
place in
had
the
the
company.
conversation about why LA gets treated the way it does. It's because he's this generation's version of The Rock with the way he does everything.
Hmm.
And we know how Triple H feels about him. And then given that The Rock is on the board,
And I mean, LA Knight is so over. He is so over. I mean, that response in Brooklyn when he came back, it nearly blew the roof off the arena when he came back. I mean, LA Knight's over.
Yeah.
He big time over.
I hope they don't drop the ball with him. Not that he's in like the same ballpark as this, but Daniel Brugge, even though he may not have looked the part, he had
Yep.
the talent and a
Hmm.
following. CM
Exactly.
Punk, people could argue, had the
Yep.
following. He may not have had the look, but WWE shits on him again. I mean, and I don't know if
Hmm.
it was just like all part of the storyline, and everything, and to really build that real life heat between Seth Rollins and CM Punk or what have you.
Hmm.
But they're capitalizing on it, and
Yes, they
you
are.
know, and then we'll talk about SummerSlam when we'll get there. But the fact that you bring back Brock Lesnar amidst all the controversy and
I did
everything,
not see that. I did not see that coming.
I
I
did
did
not
not
see
see
that
that
coming.
coming.
I mean, Larry and me were talking off camera, like during the event, and Larry says to me, he goes, "So is The Rock going to come out? Because Triple H said that you hadn't seen nothing yet. Well, so far we hadn't seen shit in night two. Well,
Yep.
yeah, we all said, oh shit, at that
Yep.
point or whatever when the Beast incarnate came back, and social media was going up in atoms with that girl and everything
Yep.
that." I mean, that just got floored to the front, and I'll have some thoughts when we get to that.
Hmm.
But first and foremost, let's talk about some football going on right now. I want to talk some college football. The top 10 was released, and of course, not surprising. Um, Texas was rated as the number one, but realistically, and everybody should know on this show, I am not an Ohio State fan. I mean, I absolutely loathe them.
Not either.
Forget about the Fiesta Bowl. Forget about that. I am not an Ohio State fan, but I would say this about anybody, even Florida State or Alabama or the Gators. If you're the defending national champion, you should be preseason number one, and you're the guy until somebody knocks you off, especially
Mhm.
with what Ohio State does have bringing back. Honestly, they really do. I think they have arguably one of the best players in the country in Jeremiah Smith. I mean, I really believe that, and he showed it definitely when it counted against us, against Oregon. Made some big plays, and realistically, he's a problem. And realistically, it's a nice weapon to have when you're breaking in a new quarterback against this number one team. You're the number two, and it's just setting up for a really special weekend of college football. We've
Mhm.
talked about the Miami versus Notre Dame game. That's going to be 5 versus 10. So that's another top 10 matchup right there. I mean, you've got Clemson taking on, who is it, LSU that first weekend or what have you?
LSU.
Yeah.
LSU.
So you got another couple of top 10 teams playing. I mean, it is just going to be a fire weekend that weekend. The Vols came in at preseason 20, playing Syracuse down there in the Dome. So
Coach's poll
it's
got
just,
18.
what'd you say?
Coach's poll got Tennessee at 18.
18. Okay, so they're at 18. My bad on that one. So yeah, so they're at 18. So yeah, so I mean, but you got some big time matchups that first weekend, and it's exciting. It used to be we'd have to wait a few weeks that they'd always start off with cream puffs, but listen, you gotta play the good teams to get the asses in the seats. I mean, you
Yep.
got to sell this product, honestly.
And the
Um,
playoff.
Exactly, exactly. So guys, what were your initial thoughts of the top 10 in chat box? If you've got your opinions of the top 10, who was maybe rated too high, who was maybe too low, maybe who was over, maybe not maybe should has no business being in the top 10. And then to be
Notre Dame.
fair, um, you know, who's a prime candidate to be what the hell were they thinking? Kind of like the Kansas Jayhawks in college basketball every year. So, but what were your guys' thoughts? Shane, Kerry, go for it.
I think Notre Dame's always ranked too high. Please play a real conference and I got a cupcake schedule, please.
And they're breaking in a new quarterback. I mean, I know that
Yeah.
Miami's defense was absolutely atrocious, but they gotten some transfers. They got a new defensive coordinator, and it's in Miami. So, I mean, I know they've got a great running back, one of the best in the country. But if Miami can stop the run, you don't have a proven passer back there like you did in Riley Leonard the year before. So,
I don't like Alabama being above Tennessee when you lost to Vanderbilt last year.
yeah. And they're breaking in a new quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I don't. Oh, go ahead, Shane.
I was going to say South Carolina, they're too high. SMU, Illinois, I bring them lower. I don't know. Like, I just kind of looking at them like, really? Like, there's better teams, but
I was surprised Arizona State without Scadaboo. You know, he was a big part of their team last year and almost upset Texas single-handedly. He's gone. So, you know, no disrespect, but what does Arizona State really bring back this year without Scadaboo at the tailback position? Kerry, what were your thoughts?
I thought Penn State was too high. Penn State, to me, is the most overrated team in the history of college football with James Franklin, who's the most overrated coach.
Preach.
You could beat everybody except Ohio State and Michigan. And he'll lose to them again. He'll find some way to lose to them again. Yeah. And I look at some of the others. Notre Dame's a little too high, but I'm like Shane. I don't agree with Alabama being that high over Tennessee, especially when they're breaking in a new quarterback like Tennessee's breaking in a new quarterback. The one team
defense, so I just feel like Tennessee should still be higher. I think
Tennessee should be higher too.
I say at least top 12 for Tennessee because you made the top. You were in the top 12 at the end of the season. You're telling me now it's like, oh yeah, we're going to put you 18 because you lost a quarterback and you're some receivers left. So,
I thought Missouri should have been ranked. I think Missouri's going to bring a good team this year that we don't play. I think they could win 10 games and they're going to be a playoff contender. They got a lot coming back.
I'm going to say this. I'm surprised the Gators are as ranked as high. I mean, I know that DJ Lagway and so forth, but I'm going to tell you this. If he gets hurt, there's really not much in the cupboard. I mean, Harrison Bailey is on their damn roster. He's been a journeyman every year that started at Tennessee. Not that he started, but his journey started at Tennessee, and he left. He took his ball and has gone to a school every year, and he's now in the mix as a backup to Lagway. I heard the Gators lost another receiver in practice today, so they're already thin. I just think that the minute that those wheels fall off there, it's done for Napier and all that. Honestly,
he doesn't recruit. I mean,
he doesn't.
You're still pulling in Florida players, but he's not recruiting at a level where Florida can maintain anything. I don't get how they're ranked the way they are. Like,
I'm surprised they even kept DJ Lagway. To be honest with you, I'm surprised he didn't take the money somewhere else.
Nobody probably wanted him.
Yeah. They want him to prove something injury-wise. Because, like you said, if he gets hurt, they're done.
Yeah.
They are.
And how good is their offensive line? I mean, their schedule is brutal.
I even think, like, does Nico even end up anywhere else had he not already had some set upside for the West Coast? Like, he was one step away from being a very small school.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, and leave it to UCLA to, overpay for him because it's UCLA. They're a basketball school, but they had to have something to compete in this Big Ten that they're now a part of.
Well, now on the surface, they looks like they overpaid him. But when you figure taxes in the state of California, they really didn't overpay him. He actually lost more money.
He lost a lot of money
going to UCLA than staying here.
He's going to be one of the biggest buffoon college football players in a long time, honestly.
I think it's just the culture that he's from, with the Samoan culture or the Polynesian culture. Just you do what the father said.
Yeah.
But what bothers me is that Big Ten Media Days, he comes out and has the nerve to shape his mouth to say he missed his family. Now his family was at every game for 2 years.
Front and center, and they were even on camera, Gary.
They were on camera every single game. Time. I like to know how you miss your family when they're there all the time.
and then your brother commits to an SEC school, and before spring practice, he was out the door.
And it
Yeah.
looks like they're going to get their money back.
Good.
And it looks like they're going to. And guess who's part of the booster club there? Jerry Jones. But we'll discuss that another bit.
Yeah.
After we'll discuss him a little later too. He's been in the news quite a bit for the wrong reasons himself.
Yeah,
But
yeah, we're going to get to some NFL preseason because there's some guys that are holding out, and and that's the thing. And when we do this fantasy football next week, and talk about that, I mean, there's some guys that I'm kind of iffy. I mean, even if you're in one of those keeper leagues, be careful of who you keep, and because I'll tell you one, I got so screwed one year with Le'Veon Bell. And I even renamed my team mid-season. I hate Le'Veon Bell. That asshole screwed me so bad on that fantasy football that year. And I could have taken a trade for him, and I didn't because I thought, oh, surely he'll play. And he didn't play that whole year. And so I changed my team name from Show Me Them TDs to I Hate Le'Veon Bell, by the way. So, yeah. So, I hate Le'Veon Bell. But still do. But no. So we're going to talk some NFL. I'll give you guys a team that, I think that they backdoored their way to winning the ACC last year. I still am not a Cade Klubnik believer.
I'm not either.
They don't believe in the transfer portal. They're home growing it. I kind of really want Clemson's ass that first weekend. I really do. I'm not a Brian Kelly fan by any means. I think he's an idiot, but somehow I don't know how much these boosters are paying, but they have secured easily close to, if not the number one team in the country with some of the guys that they've got committed. They haven't signed yet, but then with the transfers they've brought in this year to offset that till they start bringing in these dudes. I mean, it's now or never for Brian Kelly at this point. I mean, they've done everything they can.
Is that a neutral site game or is it at
Shane? Where is that? Is that at LSU or is that in Clemson, or are they playing it in Dallas? So, because I knew the Miami Notre Dame game is down there in Miami.
Miami, yeah.
I know Tennessee and Syracuse is neutral, obviously in the Mercedes.
That Clemson.
It's at Clemson.
Oh, wow. So it's at Howard's Rock in Death Valley. So that's going to be a tough atmosphere. That is going to be a tough atmosphere. So
double points for LSU. If LSU can go in there and get that kind of a win and do it impressively,
I'd love to go there for a night game.
It's special. I've been there before.
I'd love to go to the boat for a night game.
Yeah, no, I've been there, but it was before. I've been there for a night game, but it was when Tommy Bowden was still the coach at Clemson.
Okay.
It was before. What's his name? Dabo took over and everything like that, and they became the Clemson. You know what I mean? Type of a thing. So,
I mean, we're still for Dabo to say Alabama.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But that Texas-Ohio State game, man, that's going to be a lot of fun because you got the game within the game. You only got 1 versus 2. You got Heisman votes, Arch Manning and Smith on the side. Whoever wins that game, and I don't think it matters who has the better game, the Heisman, you're going to take a lead in the Heisman, and they may be able to hang on to it.
I agree. Well, we got another panelist that's jumping on here. He was out for a couple of weeks. He was on a cruise, parading around the Caribbean and enjoying the cultures of other countries. Him and his beautiful wife, well deserved. But we're glad to have him back this week. I know he's got an opinion on a lot of things. But let's bring him on. The great, the only one, our favorite Cajun from Louisiana, Larry Frank Jr.'s in the house, baby. How you doing? Woo!
What's up, El Frank?
What's up, fellas? What's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
Happy anniversary, man.
Thank you. 27 years in the game. So
congrats.
Yeah,
well, you picked a perfect week last week to be not available because, as you probably heard, we had weeks from hell or whatever. I mean, Shane got ran off the road; he has no vehicle, and the bad thunderstorm came through, knocked trees over. I didn't have power for 7 hours over here, so I couldn't do a show. So yeah, I mean,
I said, you know what? Screw it. I'm leaving the country.
That's it.
There you go. There you go.
Blame Larry. He was having fun while we were all dying over here. No, I'm kidding. So, but I'm glad you could jump on tonight, brother. You know, we're just starting off talking about the college football top 10 that was released. Just talking about who you thought maybe was too high, too low. Maybe who's overrated, who's maybe not ranked high enough. What's your thoughts, brother, on this one? So
I haven't had a chance to look at it because I just got back Sunday and then immediately got into work mode and been working. All I know is that we have 3 top 10 matchups since the poll dropped yesterday. 1 versus 2 for the first time ever with Texas, Ohio State, 9 versus 6 with Clemson, LSU, and 10 versus 5 with Miami and Notre Dame.
Yeah.
So the one thing I will say is I like the early, I mean, not just early season, but I like week 1 chaos because 3 top 10 teams, I don't care who it is, are going to lose. So what I want to see is I want to see the reaction as to how far the losers are going to fall, no matter who it is. It doesn't really matter with Texas, Ohio State because it's 1 versus 2. So whoever wins is going to go to the 1 spot. Whoever loses probably drops to the 2, maybe the 3, depending on what happens with Penn State.
Depends on who's the beatdown.
Yes, and the level of the level of the victory that's won.
Agreed.
If I look at the 9-6 matchup with LSU and Clemson, I'm leaning Clemson because I'm going with Klubnik, who's coming back. I'm going with that Clemson defense, who's basically all coming back. They're all intact. LSU has a whole lot of new pieces, but Clemson's pretty much been together for 3 years. Plus, I got to go with the coaching edge with Dabo over Brian Kelly.
No doubt.
Brian Kelly usually shits the bed in big games, so I'm leaning Clemson in that one. Clemson is 3.5.
Every time I hear Brian Kelly, I just think of Butch Jones. Because that's where we learned everything from. And they're both just complete idiots when it comes to football.
Right.
They both can recruit like crazy, but they can't.
They just can't coach. They're not X's and O's. Yeah, they can't coach.
I tell everybody all the time down here, you got your Mario Cristobal, and they're like, he's nothing like Mario Cristobal. I'm like, no, he's everything like Mario Cristobal. You can't win the big game,
When you think you're the smartest man in the room when it comes to football, and you don't even pay attention to what your coaches are bringing there for, you bring in yes men who follow what you want to do. You're set.
Exactly. So
that might be the biggest game of the weekend to me and of importance because of LSU. Remember, LSU lost to a 4-win USC team last year in Vegas. If they don't beat Clemson, the heat that comes down on Brian Kelly the second that game is over, if they lose, will be unbearable.
That's a great point. That's a great point because don't forget they got their ass handed to them by Florida State a couple of years ago, that first game. So that's 3 opening losses.
No, actually, LSU is 0-6 in the last 6 years. They've not won a season opener
since they won the national title. Since they
won the national title.
Since they won the national title, they've lost every season opener, and that's why I'm going with Clemson. Again. But to answer your question, James, who do I think is the highest team that's given, that's overrated? It pains me to say it, but it's going to be what you see behind me.
I agree.
I mean, I'm not going to sit up here just because Miami's my team. I'm not going to sit up here and get hyped over the ranking. I really believe that the ranking was placed at number 10 because I expected Miami to come in at 14, at least top 15.
Yeah,
13,
I agree. I agree with that.
But when I saw they were ranked number 10, I'm like, wait a minute. You rank Miami number 10 with a new quarterback, albeit he's coming from Georgia from the SEC, a new defense, a new defensive coordinator. Pretty much they lost 6 of their top pass catchers last year. And Miami, in your opinion, and this is the coaches poll. I'm like, what coaches, what? Y'all are setting this up. So
unless they were told to by ESPN, because it is the ESPN coaches poll, and maybe they did want those top 10 matches. It's nice to see 5 versus 10, just to get the casual viewer. I mean, Catholic and Convict sells itself, but at the same time, Larry, I have to agree with you. I mean, here's the thing. Would I love to beat Notre Dame's ass on that first weekend? Absolutely, I would.
Yeah.
But realistically, you've choked the bed in these type of big games, those opening weekends, no matter who the coach has been. And I think back to that LSU Miami game a couple of years ago where they were barely 25 or 24 at that point, breaking in a quarterback with Joe Burrow that nobody knew about.
Yep.
And then Miami was the preseason number 9 with the turnover chain bullshit. And by halftime, we were licking our teeth off the ground.
I was there.
There in Dallas. You were there.
I was in Jerry's world. I was in Jerry's world in a sea of LSU fans. Actually, I got a buddy of mine, my neighbor that I grew up with. he got married, moved to somewhere in Texas. I didn't even realize he was like 2 rooms down from me. And I'm screaming and cutting up and cussing, and he turned around and he's like, "Dang, but one mouth I know like that." And I looked like, "Damn, how the hell all these people in Texas I run into you?" So, yeah, that's my pick.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing, Marcus Freeman, he will have Notre Dame ready and raring to
He's a
go.
damn good coach, and
That
I
dude
said
can
that.
coach.
I
That
said that.
dude is a star.
And
Is the next
they
big
play
star.
for him. His players love him, and they die on their shield for him. Honestly, hate to say it.
They will be ready to rock and roll. They have, I guarantee you, all they have to do up there is say Miami.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll invoke all of those memories from Catholics versus convicts when Jimmy Johnson and them beat the crap out of them. I remember Jimmy Johnson's last game as a Miami coach, 58-7. And his players had to convince him to take his foot off the gas because they could have scored 80 that night on Notre Dame. And they didn't do it. That was his last game as a Miami coach before he went to Dallas, 58-7.
Yeah.
Notre Dame hates them with a passion.
Oh yeah, and Miami hates them back
and
too.
Miami hates them too. I expect a bloody free for. I think that's going to be the most physical football game of the entire weekend.
Yeah, I agree.
40 years of hatred.
Well, I gotta bring on one more guy that's coming on. He's the co-host and co-founder of the show. I'm so glad he's on early because I know he's got a lot to talk about. Guys, bring it on. Listen, do I even have to say it? Yeah, I'm gonna introduce him.
Oh, introduce him. Come on,
he's
man.
my boy. Come on,
man.
Mr. 2003 West. 20 years now being the voice of the running Rebels and Lady Rebels. And if you missed it, we're calling the game again this Friday from the press box, West versus Catholic. The one, the only, two-pair Tate. Brian Tate, what is up, baby? How you doing?
Woo! Shalom. Assalamu alaikum, my brothers.
I am so glad you were on tonight, bud. So yeah, been early.
Man.
So,
early.
Sure.
We just got done filming. And I want to thank all of the ladies that came out. It was really great. It was really great.
All the ladies, huh?
Oh man, when I tell you, it looked like Essence Festival.
Woo!
You know what I'm talking about, 30 Frank. You know what I'm talking about, Curry.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, listen. Don't refer to this year's Essence. Don't refer to this year's Essence Fest because nobody was there. Nobody came down here.
Nobody was there this year. No,
I
didn't go this year. I typically go. But no, man, I'm ready for college football. I want to say before we get into, before you guys get into any of that, how cool was it this weekend seeing Sterling Sharp, Eric Allen, Jared Allen, Antonio Gates? There's a guy that didn't play college football that's in the NFL Hall of Fame.
Isn't that something?
That tells kids something. Hey, look, the dude went to school at Michigan State, never played a down of football. Never played a down of college football. Goes to Kent State, gets on a run with a guy named Trevor Huffman. Give everybody the business in the NCAA tournament. And then he has a Hall of Fame career with the likes of LaDainian Tomlinson, who is in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Philip
Rivers, who will soon be in the Hall of Fame.
Yep. Yep. I mean, that's crazy. It's just nuts.
Right.
And a thing that was near and dear to my soul this weekend, Sterling Sharp is in the NFL Hall of Fame.
Yep.
Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Once upon a time, I mean, him and Brett Favre, I mean, that was the hookup on Sundays. I'm telling you, man. Sterling Sharp. So, wow.
He would have been statistically the greatest receiver in NFL history if it wasn't for his neck injury.
Yeah.
Yep.
He would have been better than Jared
92, 94.
Only 7 years.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
We lost. We got robbed of a career.
Yep.
I mean, three-time first team All-Pro.
Yep.
Eric Allen, one of the more underrated cornerbacks of his day. I thought he should have been in there earlier.
Yep.
you know. But when you get in, you get in. And I just think it's so profound that the first set of brothers to go in are the Sharp brothers.
Yep.
That's
I
pretty
was so
cool.
surprised that Eli wasn't on that ballot for the first
Oh, he
time.
will be
That's
too.
what I was just
He
about
will
to
be
ask.
soon.
I thought Eli was in. I thought Eli and Peyton
Not
was the first set. Eli never made it.
He didn't make it.
He
He
didn't
came
make
close.
first ballot.
He came close.
Wow.
I
He's not a
think
first ballot Hall of Famer.
You would
he'll be
think,
he will be one eventually. Eli
you would
will
think
be
if
one
they're taking
eventually.
down Brady, he would have been in there.
Yeah.
I actually think what they're
Yeah.
gonna do, they're gonna wait for Eli and Brady to go in together.
Oh
Tom's
God.
eligible in 2
Yeah.
years. I could see
Yeah.
that easily happen.
I could see that, yeah.
Yeah.
The one. I mean, and I'm partial maybe to the Miami and so forth, but I still can't believe Reggie Wayne hasn't gotten in. He has got to get
Reggie
into
Wayne's
the Hall
in.
of Fame.
There's a log
Reggie
jam at
Wayne's gonna
receiver.
be in.
Yeah, he's gonna be in. So
Like
yeah,
there's
should
some
be.
guys that are locks.
Mm-hmm.
There's some guys that are pretty fringe. And I know you guys are talking college football. I just wanted to give a little quick.
Oh no,
NFL
we can talk that too. No, because I mean we're going to talk about that. We got NFL preseason. We're going to talk about Summerslam, the recap. I mean, we just started off with the college football just because that top 10 was released. You got 3 top 10 matchups. Larry mentioned it. You know, you got Texas, Ohio State, Clemson versus LSU, Notre Dame versus Miami, and then you got some other sexy matchups too. You know, but
You
it's
know
just going to
what?
be fun. So
This game might the Clemson LSU game. You may see a Heisman front runner between the quarterbacks.
That's possible.
could be.
And I wanted to ask you guys this. Is LSU's trajectory going up or is it staying even keel?
Well, I can tell you, I'm down here.
You down here. You're down there.
I'm down there, so I can tell you from what I know and from what I see and from what I talk to, the trajectory is up. The problem was they're going to stay level because of Brian Kelly.
Mhm.
They have a very favorable schedule. Now, they can lose to Clemson. And at the same time, guess what? That loss is not going to hurt them when it comes down to playoff possibilities because they haven't even played an SEC game yet.
But
Their
losing
SEC schedule,
to an ACC school it early in the year, what would that say to the committee if they're looking at large? But all they got to do is win.
at the end of the day, they have to beat Alabama. If they lose to an SEC school, they can survive as long as it's not Alabama.
Yep.
They have to beat Alabama. Now, the problem is that game is in Tuscaloosa, but their SEC opener is against Florida the week before Miami plays Florida. That's the week 3 game for them, which is their SEC opener. They have to go to Gainesville.
LSU does. Okay.
LSU does. LSU goes to Gainesville in week 3 to play Florida. Now, will they catch Florida? Will they catch Florida looking past them to Miami because Florida has Miami on the brain for revenge? Or will they be focused? And you got to remember, Billy Napier, he's in a situation too where he has to win. Like he was given a vote of confidence.
This is kind of the telltale sign. Are we keeping you or are you? They got better as the year ended, though.
Well, they have, I think, the toughest schedule in college football.
Again.
If you look at Florida's schedule, they got
Florida
the toughest
does, yes.
schedule in college
Florida
football.
does.
Yeah.
Yep.
Again.
Yeah.
And what's interesting about their schedule? What's interesting about their schedule this year, Florida, usually they play LSU late and Tennessee early. This year, it's reversed. They play LSU early and Tennessee late.
But the last time they played Tennessee late was
Tennessee won.
2001. The 9/11 year.
Yep.
You know, not the 9/11 year. I want to say Florida lost in the swamp. Travis Stevens had one of the greatest rushing days we've ever seen in Vol history.
Yep. Facts.
But I mean,
when
you look at teams like Florida got better at the end of the year. When they saw Miami early in the year, they looked slower. They didn't look like they need to be on the same field with some of those guys they probably played in high school and in 7-on-7s and whatever else in the state of Florida. But what I look at right now is when all the top Florida schools are good, it makes for good college football.
I agree with that.
I agree.
With that. I'll give you a team that I thought was rated a little bit high at this point. Oregon. I
Yeah.
mean,
Oregon.
like they're breaking in a new quarterback,
Mhm.
and their best receiver is out for the year. He got hurt, and so there's some question marks with them. The other team too that I felt was ranked really, really high, in my opinion, considering they lost a bunch, is Ole Miss. I thought Ole Miss had that last year,
Yeah,
and
they're breaking in a new
now
quarterback too.
they're breaking in a lot of stuff and lose, Walter Nolan and a lot of that defense that they had last year. So that's a team. Michigan, I know Michigan ended the year strong, but how does that new young quarterback do? He's pretty good from what I understand, but now we're going to see when the lights come on what he can do. There's Michigan's quarterback and everything. So those were
a
two
lot,
other
a
teams
lot
that
of, a
stood out
lot
to
of
me.
those higher rankings. A lot of those higher rankings are taking into account the brand name and
Yep.
the school. They're not looking at the actual dichotomy of the football team, because if you look at what schools have returning quarterbacks, Penn State, LSU with Nussmeier, Clemson with Cade Klubnik, and I believe, is it Arizona
Texas with
State?
Arch. Yeah, Arizona State. Yes.
Arizona State has a returning quarterback. Now, Arch, that's kind of, to me, because you got to think about it. Quinn Ewers was the starter most of the year last year, but
he did play some.
He did play some, but an actual starting quarterback, you've only got like 4 or 5 big schools. Probably somebody else we're not thinking about that has starting quarterback comeback. Every other big name school has a new quarterback.
You're right. You're right, because Ohio State's breaking in a new one. You've got Georgia breaking in a new one. You've got Alabama breaking in a new one. And and some could argue, he's going to be new with Miami, but you don't know if he's fully recovered with Carson Beck from the injury and so forth.
Our show on Friday night, we're actually going to be featured talking about Carson Beck. We're going to the actual theme of You Talk Friday night will be Carson Beck. Do you trust him physically and as a leader? So we're going to get into that.
That should be a good conversation.
When me and Two Pair are done with our live show, I'll probably call in. So if you all are on at least after 9, I'll try to give you all a call. So yeah,
absolutely,
sure.
We'll be on.
Yeah. You know who's a team that I think that nobody's talking about that I think they're very well coached. Texas A&M and Mike Elko. I really think that they might surprise some people. They're low at 21, in my opinion. They could really jump up in the rankings. So
they played Notre Dame week 2.
They got some athletes. I like the fact that they got some.
They played Notre Dame week 2 in South Bend.
We forgot.
But you know what?
We forgot. South Carolina with South Carolina with Lenora Sellers. That's the other one I was thinking. Who stayed.
Yep.
That might be a dark horse.
That dude scares me because he is so big and so strong, and he could run, and that dude's a surprise dark horse Heisman to me.
Another Beamer coached team that like that kind of reminds me. South Carolina's like become the new Virginia Tech. I feel like they're there and they're going to be pesky and always
maybe not.
So
maybe not. This might be their opportunity because you
don't
know how Georgia. Yeah, you don't know how much Georgia's going to fall off now that Beck is gone, because the fans wanted Beck gone. But hey, be careful what you wish for. You don't know what you're going to get with Florida, and you don't know what's going to happen with Tennessee. So you never know. South Carolina, this might be an opportunity.
Question: has South Carolina ever won an SEC championship?
No.
They've won the East 2 times with Spurrier, but they never won the conference championship.
They've never won the conference championship. Ole Miss has never won the SEC.
No.
South Carolina, Ole Miss, and Kentucky, I believe, are the 3, and Mississippi State are the 4 teams that have not won the SEC championship.
Now ask yourself why. Why has Ole Miss not won the SEC? I'll give you 2 reasons.
Give me some reasons.
Alabama and LSU. That's why.
Yep, that's it.
For similar reasons, why has South Carolina never won the SEC? I'll give you 3 reasons.
Tennessee, Florida, and Georgia.
Florida and Tennessee.
Tennessee. Yep.
Tennessee has won back-to-back, but has not won since
98.
They've been a couple times, but they were there in 04 and they were there in 07. So
Yeah. But mostly Georgia and Florida have been the reason why South Carolina hasn't won. So saying all of that, Florida, it's going to be a toss-up. I think they're going to beat Florida. I think South Carolina best Florida this year.
You think South Carolina beats Florida? Is it at Florida?
I don't know, but
I'll look it up.
I'll look it up.
I give them a chance to win.
You got to.
They don't play Florida.
Oh, that's even better.
Play Florida.
That's even better.
They don't play Florida. Here's the kicker. They don't play Florida, Georgia, or Tennessee. They don't play any of the three.
That's probably why they're ranked so high. So I mean, yeah.
Whoa. So hold on. They don't even see the top teams in the conference.
They see Alabama, LSU, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, Texas A&M.
Those are all winnable games.
Vandy and Missouri.
Those are winnable games.
Those are very winnable games.
Very winnable.
You know, speaking of which, South Carolina opens up with VT. That's the 3 afternoon game leading into the Miami Notre Dame game on ABC. Right. By the way,
they open up with Virginia Tech.
I like that matchup.
How ironic is that, huh?
Yeah,
I like that matchup though.
Shane, what's give me a team that you're surprised is not in this top 25 right now. Honestly, you know, I don't see Oklahoma there. Is Oklahoma in there?
No, they receive votes.
They receive votes. That's got to be a first. You know, that's a school that always gets ranked. I feel just because they're Oklahoma. You know, I mean, they've fallen off. They suck. So yeah,
I would put Missouri over a couple of teams, like over Boise State and Texas Tech.
I would have put Missouri easily.
Hey, listen to this stretch for Florida, by the way. Okay, so they open up with LIU in South Florida. They'll win both those games. The Gators have you at home. Then they go on the road to Miami. Then Texas, they got the Longhorns. Then they got the Aggies. Then they play Mississippi State. Then they have a bye week, and then they finish with Georgia, Kentucky, Ole Miss, Tennessee, and Florida State. That is the Gators' schedule right there. I was wanting to look it up.
They'll be on the top 25 by
Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To say by the Texas game, they'll be completely out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Billy Napier will be fired this year, and I like Sunbelt Billy. He's a nice guy, but
you said he'll be fired.
Just wow.
I think he's going to be fired.
Napier.
I think he'd make it to the Tennessee game.
That's why he's going to get fired this year, because he should have been fired last year. They brought him back.
Yep.
And I'm gonna tell you what I think saves his job with that tough of a schedule, because that is the toughest schedule in college football. Mm-hmm. If he can somehow get Florida to an 8-4 record, he survives. But anything less than 8, if you're 7-5 or less, he's out of there.
I still Kiffin becomes their next coach.
Agreed.
I hope not, because that would be dangerous for Miami.
Yeah, it would be. It would be
very dangerous.
I see him. I could see Kiffin at Auburn before I see him at Florida.
Yeah, because the Hugh Freeze experiment is pretty much going to be done. I think
I could easily see him at Auburn.
And that question that you had asked Shane, that's my pick for a team that I'm surprised is not in the top 25, just because it's Auburn.
Auburn.
Yeah.
You got nothing.
That's usually a team. That's usually a team that's in the top 25. Not great, but they're usually there. You know, they represent
their brand. They're past
their brand.
Yep.
They're not in the top 25.
They're currently 32nd.
That's not the Auburn standard.
No, I mean,
no.
Auburn was a proud football factory at one time.
Yes.
It just feels like it has not been. It hadn't been right since the early 2010s.
Since 2010, since Cam.
You know, can I just say this? You know, speaking of Penn State, they should be ashamed of themselves. Listen to their schedule. Starting out with Nevada, FIU, and Villanova. We ain't even talking college basketball, guys. We're talking college football.
They play at Villanova.
Villanova. And that's the CBS.
Rich Gannon walking through that door.
Listen, hey, this will make you even cry even harder.
If that's what
CBS is going to feature for their Big Ten bullshit 3:30, they're going up against the Georgia-Alabama game that's going to be promptly on ABC at 3:30 that same week. I mean, what are we talking about here, guys? Honestly, like, I mean, are you kidding me? That's horrible. And then Penn State plays Oregon.
What's that Big Ten schedule look like?
Okay, funny you mentioned that. So then listen to this. So after that really tough 3-game gauntlet week on the 20th to get ready for Oregon, then they play UCLA, then they play Northwestern.
A new quarterback. Sorry, I did.
Before they go to the shoe and Ohio State, then Indiana, then Michigan State, and they finish with Nebraska and Rutgers. They don't even have the Wolverines this year. Can you believe that?
They don't even have the Wolverines.
Yeah, that's Penn
State. They
State.
got a strong chance. I got them at 11-1. They're going to lose to Ohio State. I think they will find a way to beat Oregon. They're going to finish 11-1.
And be in the playoff again promptly with that piece of crap schedule.
And
unbelievable.
And pardon my French, and when they get in the playoffs, they're going to get skull-fucked in the first round.
Absolutely, they will, and deservedly so. And deservedly
Look at Notre Dame's schedule.
Oh yeah. Let's look at that. Yeah, wait a minute. Hold on. Let me see here.
Yeah, I want to see.
All right, so Notre Dame. Let's see here. I know we mentioned the Miami game. Obviously, starting it out. Then they've got a bye week between. So after they play Miami, they're off. Then they play Texas A&M. Then they've got Purdue. Then they've got Arkansas. That's an interesting matchup. I don't even know if Sam Pittman will still be a coach by then, but
at Arkansas.
So that's a tough place to play.
I'm really surprised they pulled that one.
Yeah, I am surprised that too. Then they've got Boise State, which is interesting. That matchup was a year too late. NC State versus then they play the Wolfpack. Then they've got the Trojans, which is not your typical
And that might be the last time they play each other.
Followed by Navy, then Pittsburgh, and then they finish with Syracuse and Stanford. So if Notre Dame can beat Miami and Texas A&M and Arkansas, they're going to run the table at that point. So, yeah.
Well, can I get back to Miami for a second?
Sure.
Because
I
just want to say to whoever the schedule makers for Miami, if I see you, I'm going to slap the piss out of you because the way they did Miami with this schedule, so after Florida, Miami has a bye week leading into Florida State.
Yeah.
And then after Florida State, they have a bye week leading into the Louisville, which is the start. Well, it's not the start. It's the second game in ACC play. So essentially, Miami's going to play one game in 3 weeks after Florida. Then after that second bye week, they got to play 7 straight games, including the last 2 on the road. If they find a way to qualify for the ACC championship, they got to go to Charlotte. So that's a 3rd game on the road.
Yep.
So whoever made that schedule, kiss my ass.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't do any favors for Miami at all. And then they put Florida and Florida State back to back. Usually you had a few weeks, even with the bye week, there's going to be so much juice for those 2 games or whatever like that.
Yeah. I mean, it just, to me, it's like, I don't know. Maybe it's punishment. Maybe it's punishment for Miami having the easiest schedule and the #1 draft pick last year, and an opportunity to just coast on into the playoffs and not doing it. Maybe it's punishment. I don't know. Maybe it's cool.
You might be onto something there. You might be on that.
Yeah, you might be, because they got a trip to Dallas in November with SMU. That ain't going to be no fun either. That's an
L.
Easy at all.
I'm picking that as an L because Rhett Lashley, the former OC, is going to beat Miami. I'm calling that with those handful of Miami guys that went to SMU. I'm calling that. And Miami can never win a cold. Exactly. And
that guy can coach.
They can never win a cold weather game because I'm looking at Pat Narduzzi up there at I think it's Narduzzi at Pitt.
Yeah, it's at Pitt, and they blew that game a few years ago, and that was a shitty Pitt team. So
that's been their personal house of horrors is Pittsburgh.
And before they play Pitt, they got to go to Virginia Tech,
and that's going to be cold in November.
2 cold weather games.
Yeah.
One
that'll
big
be cold.
rivalry game, and then again, man.
But
I'm
you
gonna
want
tell
to
you
know?
this.
You want to know what's the crazy story? The story that I feel like we haven't touched on.
What's
Rich
that?
Rodriguez going back to West Virginia.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Country roads take me home to West Virginia. So
It's
I mean,
crazy.
Shane, how about Clemson's schedule? Check this one out. If they, we all think that probably they beat LSU and they have such an advantage at home. But if they get by LSU, listen to the rest of their schedule. Troy, win. Georgia Tech, win. Syracuse, win. North Carolina with Bill Belichick, win. Boston College, win. SMU, win. Duke, win. Florida State, win. Louisville might be interesting. It's a Friday night game in Louisville. That might be the one that
Louisville's a tough place to play.
It's a tough place to play on a Friday night.
But you know what, James, you're giving them a bunch of wins, and I'm not sure that all those victories are victories. Georgia Tech won't be no cakewalkers. This ain't the same Georgia Tech that,
Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah, and it is at Georgia Tech. I'll give you that. Yeah, you're right.
No more triple option.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah,
And SMU is not a given either.
That's true. I guess the only reason I like them is that was a home game, but you're right about the North Carolina game and the Georgia Tech game are on the road, and North Carolina is a hard place to play sometimes. So,
and keep in mind, they are not about to let Bill Belichick come to college football. He's going to have a signature win against somebody. That's why I'm glad they ain't playing Miami.
Oh, yeah, that would have been a hell.
But my thing with Belichick is we got to look at all those assistants around him that were getting better as coaches being around him that took on jobs or underperformed, performed.
I just don't see how Belichick translates to the college game.
Yeah, I don't think I think it does in a way. He's preparing them for what the mentality of an NFL program is ran. So, and I'm thinking it's not to the vibrant way Pete Carroll was able to do what he did at USC. Like Pete's one of those type up guys. Like Bill Belichick is a real smug, like detailed, very fact-based football. Like to get a laugh out of them, you got to be up by 30.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you're right.
Hey, Clemson's got a trip to them November the 4th. That could be one of those trip up games for Clemson that they always seem to fall into every year. They seem to fall into a trip up game every year. That could be their trip up game.
Yep.
Because I think North Carolina will be better in the second half of the season than they will be in the first half of the season.
Yep.
And that's usually what Belichick, what he does to young quarterbacks.
Don't sleep on Syracuse either.
No, Syracuse.
I remember when Syracuse beat a good Clemson team some years back.
Yep.
So this Fran Brown team, Fran Brown comes out of the SEC. That's why I like Syracuse as a team that can surprise people. Now, I don't like them because they play Miami. They got to come to Miami. They already got us last year. But Syracuse with Fran Brown as a team, you cannot count them as an automatic victory no more. It's not you're playing a basketball school anymore. They can play
how does everybody feel about that Tennessee-Syracuse matchup right now? Kerry, finish your thought and then answer that question. So, yeah.
I think the only problem I have with Syracuse is that they got to break in 20 new starters. And Tennessee gets them at the right time, which is the first game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then after that, Syracuse gets better, I think, as the season goes on. But they got to break in 20 starters, including a new quarterback, new receivers, and force new starters on the offensive line. And against a defense like Tennessee, which that line is going to come hunting. Right. That's a tough matchup at the start. That's a tough matchup for Syracuse.
Very tough matchup.
In Rocky Top at that.
Yeah, basically in Rocky Top South because the game's in Atlanta. It's in
Atlanta. Well, still.
You know how many Tennessee fans are going to be in Atlanta? Tennessee fans, they're going to have at least 40,000. At least.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we travel well because a lot of Knoxvillians know the area of Atlanta well. I mean, it's only 4 hours, 3.5.
Three. It's 3 lanes from Chattanooga down to Atlanta, so in reality, it's 2.5.
2.5.
I'm gonna ask you guys something, and I know we'll talk about it as we get closer.
Yep.
And I know it's not 11 o'clock yet, so I can't believe I'm actually going to say this out loud. But one game that I'm just shocked that we're not even talking about, and it's a real shame. I mean, it is a shame. I'm going to say that because, again, the matchup, the names, the brands, and they couldn't have predicted this when they made this game 10 years ago. But the fact that nobody's talking about this Alabama-Florida State game at 3:30 on that Saturday is just
I'm not even talking about it.
I didn't even know they were playing. Damn.
Okay. So here's my question, and I'm going to say this out
And
loud.
I'm the resident Florida State Tennessee fan. I'm
Listen. I knew they were
I'm
playing.
thinking of
I knew they were playing, but fuck Florida State. Go ahead, James. Fuck them.
All right, okay. Wait. All right, so two pair, because you are the resident Florida State fan, this question might even mean more to you.
more to me.
Yeah. Okay. You're at the club, and there might be some polls involved. Are you watching that game on TV or the afternoon shift? That's all I'm asking.
Watching the
Afternoon shift.
Nah, my thing with my thing with the Seminoles is it's not the brand of football I grew up watching.
No.
It's not, and it had glimpses of it during the Jordan Travis, the Keon Coleman, Jacob Verse, that era. You know what I'm saying? That was close to it, but it's not what it once was, and we're not even in the conversation. Like, you know what I mean? It's not in the conversation. And when you're not in the conversation, it becomes a way of you're not even watching what was once your favorite school.
Yeah,
you know,
you're not
it's just
relevant.
like,
You're not
you're
relevant.
not relevant.
We've been there.
We've been there.
Me and James know.
We've been there.
Oh,
We've been there.
Yeah.
Of course, you guys been there.
Yeah.
But
20 years. 20
20
damn years.
Hey, you want to talk about a coaching matchup? 10 years ago when this thing was made, Nick Saban and Jimbo Fisher were the head coaches. Neither
Protege
one of them
versus-
are around.
No.
And now you got two
Kerry,
coaches.
It's funny you mentioned that, Kerry, because I don't know if y'all heard, but I think I sent it to you, James, where the Florida State quarterback, Thomas
Colangelo. Yes. Yeah. Because
he made the comment. He said, we're going to dominate Alabama because Nick Saban is retired. He said that. He gave Alabama bulletin board material.
And the thing is, well, okay, let's see their first drives. Let's see if you're putting together drives.
Is it 3 and out? Is it 3 and out?
If you're not putting together touchdowns, you're putting up a bunch of field goals. You're getting a bunch of 3 and outs. You're punting the ball. You don't show any kind of way of keeping the possessions where you can make a difference. And no, I really don't think Florida State has a chance.
I think my favorite thing is the fact that ever since we started talking about this, and even the mention of an afternoon shift with polls, increased the viewership by 4. I'm just saying. Yeah. I'm just throwing that out there right now. That also made me laugh too.
Well,
shout out the Blue Flames. Shout out the Strokers in Atlanta.
Magic City.
Magic City.
Monday.
Where's Lemon Pepper Lou, man? Where's Lemon Pepper Lou? I'm like lemon pepper wings there.
Hey.
V.
Hey.
V.
Yep.
It's nothing like it's nothing like high quality entertainment from Mabel Chocolate Cheeks Jones at the Magic City.
I'm telling you. No, let me give a quick story time with two pair. My first gentleman's club is when I turned 18. And this is, still freshly west. I'm still in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Strokers is the first gentleman's club I'd ever been to. Like, that experience is like none other. The whole making it rain. Let me tell you, you ever walk in a club and money's thrown in your face? Like, you hit money hit. I never had that feeling until that night. That's how much money was going up. Money
God.
is hitting my face.
Oh,
I'm
man.
talking about like it's falling from the ceiling of how many girls were in there. And I tell people this all the time. I say, you've not been to a gentleman's club until the money falls on your head. That's when you've been to a gentleman's club.
That's true.
That
That's true.
I'm talking about entertainment.
Well, and that's
Yeah.
why I mentioned that if the game is on that TV screen and, you know,
Oh,
like, are
man.
you watching that or are you watching the afternoon shift? I love that the
And-
afternoon shift was the whole
I
answer.
gotta-
Don't let it be at the Blue Flames where they sell the best lamb chops ever.
Oh.
Hey, if they serve food, that's a bonus right there. So shoot, my goodness. So
Hey, there's a club out in Warner Robins, Georgia, that does the 24-hour buffet. Man, they got steak, prime rib. Is
Is that for all? Is that for the military base down there? Or
that's
what?
the
Yeah, I bet it
military
is.
base. Yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, for sure.
I draw the line at eating buffet food at the strip club. There's just some things.
You might be shitting glass. I don't know when it's all said and done. So shoot.
Glitter, glass, you name it.
What kind of seasonings and juices are they using on there?
Yeah.
The stories I could tell from living.
Oh dear.
Oh, I bet Shane could, being
I bet
over in
you
San
could.
Diego. So yeah, so sure.
Oh no. So the ones in San Diego, oh my god. But best stories came from ones outside Camp Lejeune in North Carolina.
I was going to ask that, like where would you
Ah.
go over there and so forth outside of Camp Lejeune?
Is
Is there one in Wilmington or something? Or
No. We had Toby's, Driftwood, La Mirage. Toby's is right outside Camp Geiger, which is the infantry and weapons training school. Driftwood's outside the main gate of Lejeune. La Mirage was probably about 10 minutes outside the gate. And I'm talking about you had daughters of higher ranking members, people that stayed there, ex-wives, girls just looking to get BAH. I'm talking about I've seen dog tags disappear.
Ooh.
Yeah.
wow.
Oh man.
Like if you were a boot, so boot is like freshly in, like you just hit the fleet, and you're still dressing like you're freshly in the Marine Corps, and you got your dog tags around your neck. They would take your dog tags off. Those things would go bye-bye for a few minutes and come right back around your neck.
Wow.
Oh man.
Wow.
And then you find out that she's like some staff sergeant's like ex-wife that happens to be in your unit.
Well, I'll tell you this. Just to do a quick transition. Let's talk about some SummerSlam and the Brock Lesnar.
I forgot about to bring up Bridget the Midget.
Oh, bring up Bridget the
Midget?
I can't remember the name of it.
I want to hear about Bridget the Midget. So yeah, can we even say that on this show? So
she should be advertised once a week. It was like a Thursday night, so it'd be after everybody did field day, which is where we cleaned all of our rooms. You'd have Bridget the Midget and friends doing nude midget stripper wrestling and KY and freaking.
I know I'm probably going to be wrong for asking this question, but did Bridget the Midget provide?
Oh, ask it.
Did Bridget the Midget have a?
Say that 5 times fast. It's one of them tongue twister things.
You can't say it. I'm gonna leave the second part out. Was Bridget able to give you a half off service of any kind?
There was always a long line for her. So, but being down there, like you had to go, because I remember I was down there for a sergeant's course.
I love this show.
You know, I'm going to tell you this. I'm picturing that little girl.
I do love this show.
I love you guys, honestly. I mean, the fact that this went there. Here's the other thing. For whatever reason, I'm picturing the midget that was used in the Aerosmith "Love on an Elevator" music.
Oh no!
I don't even know why, but I'm doing that right now. So yeah. Oh my lord. So yeah.
I mean,
Love on an Elevator.
I swear she was maybe like 4 feet tall.
Oh my
If
God.
that.
I'm just
She
trying to
always-
picture. I'm just trying to picture the split and the boom hit the floor.
I mean, her skills were impressive, but the ones in San Diego, I watched the girl literally dance on the ceiling on a pole. So
Wow.
whole routine was on the ceiling.
So it's safe to say, whereas the regular size strippers use Coke bottles, she would use a Hug Juice bottle.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a perfect transition. Speaking of men that are hated, that I guess probably enjoy a club once in a while or whatever. We had Summerslam over the weekend, and I want everybody's thoughts on it. Did it suck? Was it good? And then you find out today that pay-per-views are going to be $30 now, starting in January. Goodbye to Peacock. I mean, goodness gracious. I mean, what's everybody's thoughts on this stuff going on with WWE right now?
It's all about the money. They don't give a damn about the fans.
It's all about the money.
Yeah.
TKO is ruining it.
Yeah.
My advice to anybody, I don't know if I can say this, so
say it.
The views that I'm about to express are those of Larry Frank and not Rebels with a Cause, because I don't want to get you guys in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Get you a jailbroken fire stick, and you don't have to worry about that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I mean, I don't give a damn what it's on. I pay for my service. I'm going to watch it continuously.
Exactly.
The only thing I'm wondering is, with ESPN being a Disney company, is the wash, is it exactly?
Yes,
is it going to
exactly.
get watered down? And I feel like it will.
That sucks.
You better be glad when Brock Lesnar showed up that Michael Cole really he finished it, because 4 years ago when he showed up, Michael Cole said holy, and McAfee was like, say it, or Graves or whoever was with him, say it. And then because I saw a side by side of the comparisons, and then this year he finally says it, which consequently I told you, James, Michael Cole said it at the same time I did. When I heard
we all said it. I think everybody said it.
Yeah. So it's gonna get watered down. And
you could have given me 20 guys to pick from that would have made that appearance, and Brock would have not been one of my 20 choices.
I really thought it was going to be The Rock, and we were going to get the Cody turn.
I thought it was too. I thought Cody, and actually it looked like, if you go back to that John Cena Cody Rhodes match, it looked like the heel turn was about to happen, because if you notice, the crowd was turning on Cody because they were getting behind Cena. And I'm thinking to myself, I was getting pissed, because I'm thinking to myself, you Cody crybabies ruined what could have been Roman versus The Rock last year. Now you're turning on Cody.
Yep.
What the hell? But if Cody, and even though it was a street fight, it would have been legal. If Cody would have belted him with the belt and won the title in dirty fashion, heel turn confirmed.
Larry,
so much you could have done.
I love your breakdown of this, because I didn't get to watch it but the highlights. But when you break it down, I then go watch it, and then I see why I don't watch it in real time. Because the way you break it down, you, Kerry, and Shane and James, the way y'all break down WWE, and because you guys know I've been fighting the battle of not watching it like we used to.
Oh yeah.
But I go back and watch the highlights. It's just not the product it once was, where I was invested. I'm a part-timer now. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I became a part-timer.
Well, and I've got one for you guys, and Shane, chime in on this. What about Cody doing the salute or whatever to John Cena and the Marine? Wait, it gets better. They did like the poor man's version of when Shawn Michaels said, "I'm sorry, I love you," and Super kicked him. And this was the poor man's version, because Cena wasn't as helpless as Ric Flair was. I mean, come on, and that was the what's Cody's finisher, the Crossroads or whatever, and that was like the lamest Crossroads of any of them that put him down once and for all. Are you kidding me? I mean, he just kicked out of 3 in a row. Like, that made no sense. That's not good storytelling. So
and to me, that wasn't even the lamest match. That wasn't even the lamest match to me. I mean, some of the other matches. How do you have a cage match? That was the worst cage match I've ever seen in my life.
That's
that was
atrocious.
horrible.
That sucked. For those two guys, there should have been some blood or what. I don't know, man.
Exactly. That was the worst case match I've ever seen. And I've seen a lot of good case matches.
Open the gate, slam it on Jacob's head, and
I'm sitting there
he
going,
crawls
really?
out. Come on.
I'll say this, getting back to Cena and Cody. They've really dropped the ball because this Cena heel turn was a failure. It was a flop. It was a failure because of how he turned heel. The fact that Travis Scott was used at WrestleMania. Well, not at WrestleMania. Well, yeah, at WrestleMania, but at Elimination Chamber to do the heel turn. The fact that The Rock initially was involved, and then you saw The Rock no more, and then John Cena's title defenses with R-Truth interfering in the Randy Orton match, with the way the CM Punk match ended. All of these title defenses that he had being a heel, it was a failure. The only thing I enjoyed about John Cena's heel turn was his promos. He gave some of the best promos ever. You know, who can forget? Oh, look, a 6-year-old is giving me the finger. You know, news kid, your dad's a loser. You know, like, You can't beat that. That was awesome. But the rest of the heel turn was just a waste. And to say that this is the last year that he's wrestling, and you gave him the 17th overall championship to outdo Ric Flair, to have the most title reigns in history. Nobody's going to outdo that except possibly Randy if they decide to let him get a couple of title reigns. But I don't think so. I don't think they're going to let it happen. So you give him that. He has a 4-month reign. Most of his matches, he got to use underhanded tactics to win. The only thing good about the heel turn was the promos. And now he drops the title to Cody. The fashion in which he drops the title to Cody. If you would have had Cody turn heel and hit him with the belt and everything, I could have lived with the turn of the championship. But you do all of that, and then I know Triple H said it was his call to have him pretty much the last couple of months of the year go out against Brock Lesnar, who this is the 3rd time that Brock has returned and attacked him. It was a failure.
It was. And you know what you could have done? And we've all agreed we could write better than what's being paid for this right now.
Oh, yeah.
What if you did? Here's how you explain the rapper's absence. He failed not doing his job at Mania, so Rock kicked his ass out. Rock could have done a 30-second vignette or something like that saying, I've got something for you, Cody. And then what you do is if Cena's turned good and Cody and Cena couldn't get it done, that's when Rock says, here's my 3rd guy. Cue Brock's music or what have you like that. Brock comes out there, hands Cena's ass to him, and then says to Cody, you're mine. He's not even after Cena. He's really after Cody or whatever for The Rock's bidding or whatever like that. That's how you write good storytelling if The Rock can't get his ass there physically. You record a 3-minute vignette with him doing it.
Agreed.
I mean, easy. He can do that. He can
all
damn
of
do that.
WWE right now, all of WWE is a crap show. What they're doing to Roman, they're making Roman look like a punk. Who gets their ass beat 2 weeks in a row and gets their shoes stolen? That type of stuff happens in the hood.
Yeah.
And that was the
Why are they doing that? Like, it makes 0 sense.
Shane, they're having him open up the card now. Him and Jey Uso opened the card up on Saturday.
Sad.
And now it's going to go film a movie. So.
Yeah.
Sad.
Yeah.
Sad.
I mean, and then like you mentioned, LA Knight wasn't even involved in either night. How is that, no pun intended, how is that possible?
But he's good enough to challenge for the next Raw after the pay-per-view or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, listen, Seth is going to have that title through WrestleMania next year and beyond.
Yep.
I just don't know what's going on. I mean, it's kind of like y'all said earlier. It's a money issue. They're worried about money. They're not worried about the product. The product sucks. The one thing that I do enjoy, I think the most enjoyable thing that I've been getting right now, I'm enjoying Naomi's run as a heel, as a champion.
That's a shame that was the opening. It was a shame that was the opening match on Sunday because that was such a great match.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was fantastic.
If anything, to be fair, I was shocked that I told Shane personally, I thought the tag match stole the show. Like in terms, it was entertaining. Those guys all sold out. The spots that they did, the tag match, with the tables, ladders, and chairs, that sold it.
Oh, that was awesome.
That should have opened up the
match.
show.
Yeah,
that should have opened up Sunday night. But I think that, and all those guys really wanted to put on a show because they were almost left off the card entirely.
Exactly.
And when you get an opportunity, they damn took it. So hats off to all those guys, and everything of that nature. Like you said, the Naomi match was fantastic. On the other side of it, I couldn't believe how horrible the Becky Lynch match was. That was
terrible.
That was awful. I mean, just awful.
That was terrible. Now, Alexa and Charlotte winning, that was a great match.
I enjoyed that one. I enjoyed that match.
They're spoon feeding their older talent. And what I don't like is it was. What I don't like, if you look at what they're doing, they dropped the ball with Jey Uso.
Yep.
They dropped the ball with the Cena heel turn.
Mm-hmm.
They dropped the ball with Roman. Now Roman's gone for another 3 months. I don't know what's up with him getting his ass kicked and then getting out of here for 3 months. So he's going for another 3 months. Yep. They dropped the ball with so much. They're dropping the ball with Jacob Fatu right now because Jacob Fatu was the hottest thing on SmackDown. I mean, you should have rolled him in Roman's absence.
Yep.
He could have ascended to a level similar, not high as Roman, but close to Roman.
The fans were naturally behind him too. That was
They love him. So you're dropping the ball with that. You already don't have Bianca, and I saw a picture. It looks like Bianca has a baby bump. I don't know if y'all saw that picture.
I was wondering when that was going to happen. I mean, because it's time. I mean, she's around that time that if 35. They don't do it now, they're not going to ever do it. I mean, and who could blame her? I'll throw this one out there. Was that real with Drew McIntyre basically telling them to get fucked? I mean, realistically, or was that all a work or whatever like that?
You never know.
You never know.
I mean, he's a crybaby too.
He's been crying for 5 years.
I mean,
now Jelly Roll did impress me. He took a lot of punishment in that,
and he took the L.
He took the L, which I didn't think was going to happen. But he impressed me. That Logan Paul going him through the table.
Yeah.
But Kerry, real quick, not to cut you off, Kerry, but think about this though. When you have a point where Jelly Roll is getting one of the top reviews of your second best PLE, something is wrong with management.
There's a problem.
Yeah. Well, and I'll say this from a technicality standpoint, I thought the CM Punk Gunther match told a great story in the ring. I did.
Yeah.
And realistically, I get why they did the cheap heat with the Rollins thing or what have you. But truth be told, I think Punk deserved that night. I think he deserved that night.
He deserved that night.
I think he deserved that night.
He should
have seen some fans' reactions when Rollins' music hit and that all.
I didn't like it.
I didn't like it.
I didn't either.
That wasn't the time.
It wasn't
the time.
If you would have took it off of Punk the next night on Raw, maybe.
Or the next pay-per-view. Like, aren't they supposed to be going somewhere like in Europe or something? Paris. So have Punk take on somebody and then Rollins do the fake.
Yeah, that would have been much better.
Like that. Give him a month. Not give him 5 seconds. I mean, they even made the fun of it. Oh, he's the shortest reigning champion, which I doubt because I think Kane got screwed one year or something on that, like where somebody cashed in on him or Big Show. I can't remember which one it was. But
and then LA Knight, LA Knight, none of that. I mean, they messed this thing up big time.
Big time. I thought the Tiffany Stratton Jade match was horrible. I don't know. Didn't have the chemistry. That match has been absolutely.
I felt like Tiffany carried.
Yeah,
I think Tiffany carried that whole match.
Look, as much as
Jade
I hate
is so
to say
clean
it,
still.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I like Jade. I like Jade a lot, and I know Jade.
I do too, but she's so
be one of the best. But Jade is just not ready. Jade, her promos, it's like her promos. It's like she's stiff with her promos. Yep. There's a lot of botches. She gets carried a lot. And I think she's getting knocked down. I think she's getting back knocked down to the mid-card. One thing that I am looking forward to, and I don't know where they're going to go with this, I want to see this Nia Jax Lash Legend deal.
That's Tuesday. Next Tuesday on NXT, they face each other.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if Lash is about to get called up to the big leagues.
That's what I'm thinking, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I'm going to tell you this. I know that I've been talking about him for well over a year. The fans are behind him, even though he's got the most punchable face. Whatever Dirty Dom is doing is working,
It's
guys, and
working.
it's still
Yeah.
I mean, I think he gets it because he gets the business. And this Eddie Guerrero thing with the Ray, and then wanting to insult the luchadors. I mean, he just gets it as a heel, and he doesn't. I mean, it'd be incredible if he had the like real look to him, like if he was buff or whatever.
I thought
but
him and
I don't know.
AJ Styles, they're both tributes to Eddie Guerrero. That was fantastic.
That was
That
a
was
fun
funny.
match.
That was
funny.
fantastic.
Fun
Because
match.
when he threw the chair and he fell out, I'm laughing. But when AJ Styles puts the chair around his neck and he falls
Oh,
down,
I know.
I
No,
was
the boot.
dying.
I
Yeah.
love the boot. I love the
Yeah.
fact that he
The
was
boot.
Dominic was dumb enough to unzip his boot to have it already coming off. So
Yeah.
when he knew AJ was going to put his hold on, the boot comes off, and the next thing you know, bam! You knew what was going to happen at that point. But I thought that match was really good too. I thought the tributes to Eddie Guerrero were absolutely phenomenal.
You know, Shane, two-pair, you know, I'm just going to ask you this. Based on whether you watched it live, whether you watched the highlights, I mean, let's think about this. Was that pay-per-view for 2 nights $10 or $30? Or do I even say the 60 it used to be before we even went to the WWE Network back in 14?
It ain't.
It was $10.
It's about $10 worth of
$10.
entertainment because it. My bad, y'all. I got this music. I got music.
Oh, no, you're
videos to
fine. No,
do,
you're fine. No, I can't even
but
hear
no,
it. So, yeah.
I know I can't either.
Oh, y'all did. Okay, cool.
No,
My
I can
bad.
hear
I
you
thought it was
perfect.
super
So,
loud.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nah, because what? How are we good on time?
Yeah, we're fine. Yeah.
Okay, what time is it?
11 o'clock.
Okay,
I was just
cool,
going to talk
cool.
some
I was
NFL and make an announcement.
Sweet deal, sweet deal.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go over too much on it,
Yeah.
but no, it's the thing of the product isn't worth the dollar amount that it used to be
Yep.
because of where we are as an economy.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't place my dollar on half-ass entertainment. So I need to quit being a half-ass fan and not watch it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. When they're done, the last pay-per-view, whatever the hell it is in December, I'm canceling my Peacock subscription because that's really why I only have it is for the WWE Network.
Yeah.
I thought the NXT card last night was better than most of SummerSlam.
That's pretty sad, right?
That's
there.
pretty sad.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I just looked at it and I was like, man, I think if you have an ESPN cable subscription, they should honor the $10 things to do, not make you pay the full 30, you know, because
That's
what
what I'm
else is going to
saying,
be
like,
in on
I
that
got
shit? Is that
ESPN.
going
I
to be
think they're still. I
specials?
think they're still working on. I think they're still working on that.
Yeah. Because no UFC is not going to give up that money because you
No.
got to pay the fee and that. I mean,
Yep.
and that's not even a damn guarantee
Exactly,
for a UFC
for
fight.
UFC.
It could be five fights that are done in the first round, let
Yep.
alone the full 3 hours. So
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, but I don't know. I very disappointing in my opinion. I would give that show a C+, and that's pretty bad when it's supposed to be, like Larry said, your number 2 PLE. I mean, you know, some could argue Rumble, some could argue SummerSlam, but now that they're going to make these things 2 nights in a row or whatever like that, let's face it, SummerSlam is the number 2. Royal Rumble has the luster of seeing so many guys in a ring and you get the title shot, but nobody ever remembers the other matches on the Rumble card. SummerSlam is your next thing compared to WrestleMania, and the ball was completely dropped with a lot of
Even
storylines.
the mid cards of its heyday or something.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you cared about
Exactly.
those next stars or whatever, you know, and
Right.
and I still say it, despite the Jade match not making it,
Mhm.
I still say the female matches were better top to bottom compared to the
It's been
men's.
that way for a while.
Oh yeah.
The female
Pathetic.
division is better than the men's. Let me tell you something. Evolution,
Yep.
Evolution, whatever they want to pronounce it. to me,
Evolution.
was one of
I call it Evolution.
whatever. The Lucian was a better PLE
Then SummerSlam.
than SummerSlam,
Yep.
than Night of Champions.
Yep.
I mean,
Night of Champions
There-
is some shit.
That
No,
was a
it
horrible.
wasn't.
Let me
That
tell
was
you
horrible.
something.
That was
More
horrible, too.
championships were defended at SummerSlam than there was at Night of Champions, which the whole
Yep.
point of that pay-per-view was that every belt got freaking defended. I mean, they're
Exactly.
so dumb. they're so stupid. I mean, honestly. So
And
yeah.
I'm like Two-Pair. I'm as much as I want to watch it, I gotta coach myself into watching. Now I missed Saturday night because I was still on the cruise. So I didn't see night one. But I forgot it was a 2-night event. So when I got home, I looked for the highlights on YouTube of everything. I saw everything that happened to Seth Rollins cash in. And then I'm seeing all of the chatter about night 2. Oh, okay, well, I'm home. I can watch night 2. So I watched night 2. But I had to convince myself, do I really want to watch this? I only really watched it to see John Cena and Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
And for me, Brock Lesnar's return was the highlight of the night.
Yep. It was the highlight of the night.
Yeah, yeah.
And here's something to think of. And here's something to think about. Next SummerSlam is in Minneapolis, Lesnar's hometown.
Yeah.
Lesnar just re-signed a 4-year deal, I read.
Yeah. Well, can I just say this? Regardless of what's going on, if Brock was really involved with this lawsuit or whatever, let me tell you something. He looked fantastic.
Yo, he looked fantastic.
I mean, Jesus Christ. At 48 years old to look like that, I mean, he just is a shit brick house, that dude.
Yeah, man.
My God.
He really in tune. Like
he makes Cena look small, and Cena's not a small guy.
No, but he's always made Cena look small.
I mean, I remember Batista back in the day, and
City.
Yeah, I mean, shit. So
there's like I told you, James. I mean, it freaks me out because Brock, John Cena, and myself are all like 3 months apart. We're all the same age.
Yep.
Everybody was born in 1970. I look at myself and I'm like, damn, I failed myself in life.
Well, let's see if you had been a wrestler and gotten all the perks those guys have gotten, because it helps when you get all that money and everything.
Yeah.
And you can just focus on working out every day.
But back to what you said real quick. I don't know if you're gonna change. You go to football again, but I read that the lady with the accusation said that Brock was innocent, like they found no wrongdoing with him.
Oh, it was all Vince. Vince is just a freak.
It's more Vince than it was Brock.
Oh,
Didn't he get caught for speeding the other day?
Vince crashed his
okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Yeah, he ran the same day that Hulk Hogan died at about almost the same time. Vince crashed his Ferrari and damn near killed himself, going 80 miles an hour, 90 miles an hour.
Could you imagine if Vince and Hulk had died in the same day?
Oh my God!
Could you imagine that? That would have been unbelievable, especially coming off the deaths of the famous people we've had up to that point. You know what I mean, and everything, and the different in their respective industries that these legends had been in, and so forth. So I don't know. It's just been a weird year. It's been a weird year, been a weird month. So I did want to touch on some NFL because obviously we mentioned the Hall of Fame and that game, and now you're going to start seeing some preseason games. But you want to know something that has really just piqued my interest more than anything, and I really want your all's thoughts on it, is this Cleveland Browns situation with the quarterbacks and who they signed. I mean, Tyler Huntley. I mean, are we going to carry 10 quarterbacks this year? I don't. Last I checked, only one can be on the field or whatever like that.
The team's ran by a hat. Expect
3 of them are hurt. Right now, 2 of them are hurt. Gabriel's hurt, and so's Kenny Pickett, which is why Shadur's going to get a start that he normally probably would not have gotten.
Yeah.
He's going to start Friday night, and he looks like he's probably going to play a half.
And I heard that they held him out for precautionary reasons because of shoulder soreness or something.
Shoulder soreness, yep.
It's like, what the hell is going on here or whatever like that? I mean,
there's a lot of little tightness, and there's a lot of injuries going around all over camps, man. Yeah. Matthew Stafford with his back issue, if he doesn't...
Are you all right, bud?
Yeah.
Listen.
Kids got school in the morning, so I at least got to wake up.
No, we appreciate you, brother.
That's right. First full day is tomorrow.
You bet. Yeah.
All right, Shane. Take care, buddy.
Take care, Shane. Thanks for being, man. You bet. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I was just looking at it like realistically this season, and realistically next week we're going to do a little bit of a fantasy football show where I'm going to have a special guest on who's just become a fan of the 8 subscribers, just to let you know, Two Pair. So I'm looking for 12 more guys August 23rd. I would love to have 100 subscribers. I really would. So if you haven't subscribed already, just get that out there, because I would just love to have it and so forth. And it'd be pretty awesome to have. But with this NFL preseason, I'm just kind of worried about some injuries that happen, because I'm always weary with fantasy football in regards of who I pick and who I'm keeping, because realistically, I mean, I look at people like Tua and these guys that are just so injury prone. I mean, you just almost have to just leave them on the table there. You really do. You can't really touch them at this point. So, yeah. I mean, what's your so far on any surprises of holdout or some of the storylines going on in the NFL camps right now as we get into that preseason?
The Micah Parsons situation.
Yes, let's talk about it. Yes, let's talk about the Jerry Jones and what's going on here. This dumpster fire.
I don't know what's going on in Dallas, but the phone calls that I see by the Dallas Morning News, it doesn't look as if they can come to an agreement, but I think they will. It's just you waited too late. Why is this happening during training camp?
To force their hand into paying them.
Why did it happen the last two training camps with Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb? They paid them more than they should have. Yeah. Micah was hoping to get this deal done in March. In March, before Myles Garrett got his deal and TJ Watt got his deal. Yeah, that would have been the smart move. Because once you sign him before they sign their deals, he couldn't change anything. Now you're going to end up paying him about, if the deal gets done, it's going to be around $45 million a year.
That's crazy.
Easily.
Leverage move. I'm not mad at him.
Exactly. I'm not mad at him either.
Get your money.
Listen, you're always one play away. You're always one play away. You got to make it count. You got to make it count, honestly, because the shelf life is even less, I feel like, for guys, honestly. So,
but to me, the Dallas Cowboys is the gift that keeps on giving. Stupid people win stupid prizes, and that's exactly what they are.
I'm going to ask you guys something. Do you think Jerry Jones got on his hands and knees and kissed Jimmy Johnson's ass because he really believed there was a curse? And now it's still not working. It's almost like you did.
I think the curse is true, though.
I think it is.
Oh, the curse is true.
The curse is true. Think about it. Like, you got one of the more successful college coaches of his day. To come to the NFL where he goes 1-15 and then wins back-to-back Super Bowls. And then you guys get into a spat. Grown man get into a spat.
Yeah.
And causes Barry Switzer to take over the reins. And then it got hellacious.
And realistically, I mean, that was really Jimmy's third Super Bowl. Mean, Barry it's like Coker getting Butch Davis national championship.
That's exactly what that is.
That's exactly what that is. Yep. Well, and here's the other thing too. It's like I look at that, and it was just like, and then those guys got older. The Aikmans, the Emmets, the Irvins. I mean, Dion. They all got older, and Leon and Nate and Charles Haley. They all got older and so forth. And you did nothing. But then you get some of these guys to go in there, and they have freak injuries. I mean, guys. Again, I'm not an Ohio State by any means, but how the hell do you have Ezekiel Elliott and he just becomes absolutely nothing? After, I mean, it's like all careers go to like
on the tire.
Yeah,
Tony Romo.
Tony, I mean, Dak is in that boat now. I mean, coaches have come through their distance. Big Tuna, what's his name, Rob Ryan. I mean, all these different big time guys have come through there, and they've been shown their ass through the door. Honestly, every time at that place. So yeah. I mean,
I'm going to say something that I have been saying. I'm going to say something that I have been saying for 30 years. What the Patriots had should have been the Cowboys. Had they not had their spat, and Jimmy was there, the Cowboys would have been the greatest franchise in the history of professional football. They would have won all of those titles because at the time Jimmy left, Aikman was 26, Irvin was 27. Emmett was 27. They were just hitting their prime. Hitting their primes.
Yep.
And they had already gotten 2 rings.
And they liked each other. And they liked each other. Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They did. Yeah. I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to throw this out there, too. You brought up a great point there, Kerry. Think about Bob Kraft. Say what you will about him, his choice in massage parlors or whatever like that. He stayed the hell out of the way. He stayed the hell out of the way and enjoyed the perks. Why does Jerry have to make a stadium after him? You know, like, it's just like, we know you got money, dude. We know. I mean, I don't know what that's all about. But, you know, you look at George Steinbrenner. You know, when he started making it more about himself, the Yankees fell off. Not that this is a baseball show or whatever. They had to build the brand new Yankee Stadium, and they had A-Rod and Jeter. And with all that, they got one damn World Series, and they're damn lucky that they got that one World Series. You know, so, but the Cowboys have nothing to show for it. They have a big stadium that have had other teams celebrate at their own expense. Pay-per-views and boxing matches have done more.
Years.
College football matches have done more in that stadium.
They have not played in an NFC championship game for 30 years. To give you an idea, every other team, all other 31 teams, have played in at least one conference championship game in these 30 years. Detroit was the last one 2 years ago. They had not played in a conference championship game. Everybody has played in one since Dallas has left, not played in one 30 years ago. Wow. That's how bad is that? How bad is that?
Larry, what were you going to say? What were you going to say, Larry?
I was going to say you inadvertently answered your own question about Jerry Jones, about what him building the stadium is because of the other events. In other words, Jerry's a businessman. Jerry knows that the Dallas Cowboys are one of the top franchises in America in all the sports, the Big Four. And he knows they're going to bring in major money, win or lose. So for Jerry, yeah, he wants to win and he can do what he wants to do and say what he wants to say. But at the end of the day, he knows if the Cowboys don't win a Super Bowl, he ain't leaving no money on the table. He's going to rake in all that money by, guess what? Not just what the Dallas Cowboys revenue is, but the revenue that he gets from these other big events, having it take place at Jerry's World, the college football events, the boxing events, the UFC events, the concerts. So for him, he's going to be vocal and he's going to be what he is because guess what? Even when you think Jerry's losing, he ain't losing because he's still getting paid.
Fair.
And next year, he's got part of the World Cup. The World Cup soccer.
He does.
In Dallas.
They're going to be a host. They're going to be a host.
Yeah. Another event.
That's another 100,000, and that's 100,000 people. About $50 a pop. That's that money in his pocket.
And when I went, when Miami played LSU, let me tell you something. That stadium is beautiful.
Yes, it is.
That big giant television in the middle. Let me tell you something. It does no justice on TV as compared to when you see it in person. Now, if you want to pay $20 for a 32-ounce beer, go ahead on and do it. My money ain't long like that, but they got that long haul money in Dallas. Those people
got that right.
They're raking in that. I'm talking $20 for the big giant mug of beer. A hot dog, $12.
No state tax either.
No state tax. No French fries, $7, $8 for a little small circus size thing like you get a kid at a circus. They're getting over. Long neck, 12-ounce bottles of beer, $8.
What a racket. I mean, what a damn racket over there, man.
Got the wrong business.
God only knows what it costs now. That was back in 2018.
Yeah, you got COVID and everything since then. So there you go. I mean, shoot. So the recession. I mean, all that stuff. So goodness gracious. So no, you're right about that. And you know, I mean, obviously, I think they're probably in line for a Final Four as well, and everything probably too coming up. So
they're going to get a Final Four then.
I'm going to tell you this though, guys. I still, for the life of me, cannot believe that Atlanta has not gotten the Final Four they were owed from 2020. I mean, to have it in Mercedes-Benz Stadium, that's a beautiful stadium. If you have not been to the Atlanta Stadium for Mercedes-Benz, it is a gorgeous.
It's beautiful.
Very beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, and I just still can't believe that they've not gotten the Final Four yet. That should have been done the next year. I don't care who you had, move everything back and so forth.
Yeah.
I mean, it's bad enough we had to do Indianapolis with cardboard cutouts in the stands or whatever like that. What the hell that was. So That was horrible.
That's
I don't
worse
even want
than
to think about
WWE. That's worse than WWE during COVID with everybody's faces on a monitor in the
with the
monitor.
Thunderdome.
that
Oh
shit was
my God,
bad.
what the
Yeah.
hell was that? So
That was
I mean, oh
bad.
my
That was
God,
terrible. That was
that
terrible.
really
It was really
was. That
bad.
really was.
Yeah.
So. Just a couple things real quick. If you missed it, for the Rebels with the Cause, West dominated Jeff County last week in a scrimmage. You go to Two Pairs 332 Studios if you want our play-by-play. We missed a little bit of it, but we got the majority of it, and West did not disappoint. Of course, this week there's another scrimmage at Bill Wilson Field there at West High Stadium against the mighty Catholic Fighting Irish. Going to be a big test. Obviously, there's going to be JP Peace, who's a commit for UT for next year. This year, commit is
Playing
obviously
well.
Tyreek King.
Playing really well.
Yeah, playing really well. Yeah, I mean, West
Like,
looked really good, and
man,
obviously
it looks really
Catholic has a
good.
UT commit in Tyreek King at wide receiver, so probably going to be the best wide receiver West faces all year. Even though it's not doesn't count in the standings, but could be a good test for that young DB backfield of how they contain.
I just thought of
the
something.
great
That's gonna be a
Tyreek
good.
King.
That's a good crowd night. It's gonna be a good crowd out there for that.
There is, and I want people to
King
show up to see that. I
and
mean,
to
it's going to
see
be
that,
two
yeah.
great fan bases at
Mhm.
West. Perfect weather Friday night. Two Pair and me will be doing the call and then going to be going live afterwards in the press box to break it all down for Rebels with a Cause. I mean, that's going to be episode 83. We are 17 away from 100, and me and Two Pair, we have said to each other, episode 100, if the stars align correctly, could be a very special night if the way it plays out the way I want it to. I don't want to jinx it. I'm just going to let it play out. If we get to episode 100, I will tell the audience why it was special as of August 6th of why it was special when it
That would
comes
be
to
cool.
fruition.
That would be so cool.
Yeah, I've timed out how many episodes it needs to happen if the stars align correctly for that.
We're gonna make it
episode
happen.
100.
We're gonna make it
We will-
happen, man.
We will make that happen for sure. So yeah, but I wanted to do that announcement. So but what else, guys? I mean, while we finish up here, I mean, it's been a great show, going almost 2 hours now and so forth. I always thank you guys for coming on and so forth. I love talking, and we talk about everything. But what else is going on right now that maybe we haven't covered in all the football? I mean, we are so close to all the seasons starting.
Yeah,
High
man.
school, college, pro. It's all coming very soon this next month.
We're
Can't
gonna
wait.
have football every week until February
Yep.
right
Mhm.
now.
Yeah,
So
throw
this is
some
great
college
time.
basketball in there once that
Yeah.
starts, obviously. So, but
Yeah. A lot of things we need to talk about. Let's talk about the Knoxville turn-ups that are going to be going on for middle school kids.
Okay.
It's a great event. Shout out to T. Minifield. He's over at UT Marketing, and we're getting this started through the 6th to 8th graders. You're making that step to getting closer to high school. So we're starting the Knoxville turn-ups. It'll be at B. Mays Elite Facility Saturday. So there's going to be a lot of talent. Also, the Mechanicsville Homecoming is coming up. It's coming up
when is
next
that?
week. That'll
Next
be
week?
next weekend. Friday,
Cool.
Saturday, and Sunday. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. This Saturday, Smash Mouth Barbecue. Happy birthday to Beck's Pressure Worldwide. Beck, he'll be celebrating his 50th C-Day, Cake Day at Smash Mouth. So just give you a little bit of tidbits of what's going on. And this Little League football in the city of Knoxville, if you follow Finish the Drill.
Yes, it is.
It is getting serious, and the chatter is going to start. But that's all I had, man. Thank you, guys.
Well, Two Pair, you got one more thing that I want you to talk about, and if you want to share it on the camera, that's fine. I think Larry would find this interesting. Because of who now plays for West in the capacity that they do, Larry, it's become almost like a who's who of celebrities that at least locally, and you might know of them nationally and so forth because of their reputation. But West High football games are now becoming a celebrity event because of the coaches' sons and grandsons that are on this team or what have you. And I mean, we have former pros, kids here. I mean, for example, West's punter is former Kansas City Chief punter Dustin Colquitt's son.
Dustin Colquitt.
Yeah, so West's punter this year is one of his sons or what have you. He's going to be the punter. Obviously, we've talked about J.P. Peace, who is Philip Fulmer's grandson, who's the UT commit junior star linebacker for West and anchors that defense. And now we have a third-string quarterback in Josh Heupel's son,
Yeah.
who is a freshman,
He's
true
a freshman.
He's third string.
And
He threw
threw
a touchdown.
bomb.
It was perfect in stride. When
Yeah,
he
they
got
say
it.
he's been looking real good.
Yeah, he's
As a
third string quarterback
freshman.
right now as a freshman.
Damn.
So,
Well, Daddy was a
And-
Daddy was a hell of a quarterback.
yeah.
And
So I'm
So-
seeing
so-
Dustin Colquitt. I'm seeing Philip Fulmer. I'm seeing Josh Heupel. At these West games. now.
Well,
It's
not
unbelievable.
just seeing them, but I think you guys should be able, as time goes on, as Josh's son, comes up, you guys should be able to do an interview with him and catch him at some point.
Oh yeah.
Oh well, and Two Pair, go on ahead and announce it. What did he say to you Friday night?
So I'm talking to Coach Heupel, and he said I would love to do the show.
So if I get
Oh,
Coach Heupel
man.
to come on Rebels
Yeah.
with a cause, man, I mean,
Awesome.
come on. So shoot, it'd be pretty.
Congratulations.
Pretty dope.
Yeah,
we should
if
try
we
to get
could,
we should try to get Dustin on here too. I've known Dustin since middle school.
I know.
I
know.
go back
Yeah.
a long way with
Yeah.
Dustin.
I'd
Good.
almost love to have Dustin on
Mhm.
if he's available for the morning of the Bearden West game on Saturday.
That would be
which I want to
awesome.
do a live show from the stadium. I know Two Pair can't make it. Unfortunately, he's going to be in Nashville, but I would love to do a live show still that morning of the Bearden West game, that Saturday, the 23rd, just to hype it up and get the Bearden perspective, because here he's a Bearden grad, but his
Yep.
sons are at West or what have you,
Good.
and that'd be pretty cool with the
That'd be
rivalry
pretty
and
cool.
so forth to have that Bearden
And
perspective.
and from experience telling you this, when you get those big names, some of those big names on, watch what happens.
Yep,
Watch what happens.
it legitimizes some things. It
It's
really
gonna
does.
it's gonna really not necessarily talking about views of the channel, because that's gonna grow organically. That's gonna take time. But the authenticity of what you're doing, and here's the best part. I told you this before, I'm gonna say it again.
hmm
You guys have a special thing going where there is no competition as it pertains to your coverage of West High School.
That's
Like what
true.
we do in Miami, we got all these other
You got like
podcasts.
7 or 8 podcasts you're going
a
up
bunch
against.
we're
Yeah.
going up against,
Yeah.
but we don't have the numbers as the big ones. We're at 23,000, but we're not worried about that. It's all about the authenticity of Utah. So when you get your authenticity to where the community is going to lock in,
Mhm.
watch what happens.
Yeah.
Yep.
Larry, plug what Devin's got coming up. You guys got a pro show that you guys are debuting, right? I mean, that's coming up.
We are
What-
taking things up to another notch, because Utah is basically now the Utah network. So Friday night we have our Miami show. We'll be talking about Carson Beck, and we'll be talking about,
That's dope.
do you trust him physically and as a leader of the team?
Mhm.
And then Monday, my show on Utah Network, Real Talk, we're going to have the marriage show where we're going to be talking about what makes a marriage thrive, survive, or people say quit. We're going to have a special couple on. We're going to have a divorced person on. That'll be Monday night. Tuesday night, we got Winning at the Game of Life with, I forgot his name. Devin has the information, but he has a school in Florida, I believe. And the school that he has is similar. It's kind of like along the same lines as LeBron James' I Promise or whatever. It's like a school that he's teaching young men life skills and, teaching them about stuff other than sports. That there's a
To
way
be
to make
prepared,
Yeah.
in this life. Absolutely.
So that's Tuesday night.
Nice.
Wednesday night, we have the premiere of Utah, the NFL edition.
Wow.
And then then Friday, 2 nights later, we have the football show. So we have 4 shows next week.
Oh man,
That's what's
awesome.
up, man.
And then every week from that, because Winning at the Game of Life, we only do like once a month. But Real Talk is going every week. The NFL show will be every week. So it's going to be Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. And then the recap show, since I'm doing Real Talk on Monday, we're going to move the recap show for the Miami games, whatever happens with Miami. You know how those recap shows go.
Oh.
We're moving that.
I used to be a part of that, the recap show. I still call in and give my stuff. So
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That show is going to move to Sunday mornings. I believe
So that's kind of like a
11
preview. Is that like a preview to the
No,
game?
actually, it's a recap because
a
the Friday
recap.
night was always the preview. The recap
Friday
was
night
on Mondays,
is
but
the
now
I
that's
like
moving
that.
Sundays.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So
Yeah,
we're
most
gonna
shows
move
are
that.
like
Yeah, so we're gonna move that show to Sundays at y'all are ahead of me an hour 11 because we're gonna do a 2-hour show prior to the NFL kickoff.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
That way we
I
can
like
be
that.
off the air. Everybody can watch NFL, but
Mhm.
everybody can call in and chime in and curse out Miami and curse out Mario
Oh,
Cristobal
wow.
because that big 888, 38, triple D, big bra wearing son of. Anyway, that's what we got going on.
You know, I was going to ask you. So, are you going to do it Monday morning for Labor Day because of the game being Sunday night? That Notre Dame game
Yeah.
being the only
Yeah.
one. So,
Yes, because
okay.
I'm
that'll
looking
be
at
all-
we're gonna be out of town. Me and my wife, I'm thinking of going out of town, but I'm not doing Real Talk that night because that's a holiday, and I'll be driving back in and I have to go to work the next day. But I will get up and we will do the recap show Labor Day morning.
Okay,
Yeah,
that works.
so
That works.
should Mario get his shit pushed in as he normally does? Hey, we'll be talking about it.
Yeah. Or if they somehow pull a victory out, then it's going to get everybody excited. You know,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
I don't know.
But you know, you James, you know, because you always been with us. You know how everybody is. You know, the season starts off, everybody's hyped up. We start winning, everybody jumps on the bandwagon, and then when we start getting critical about stuff that we see, we're haters. And then whenever Miami starts losing, people starts calling. You know what, man? You guys were right.
You guys were right. So
Kiss
Of
my
course.
ass. We tried to tell y'all, but y'all didn't want to listen.
Carrie, and Two Pair, just to let you know, I say this to Larry every year, and then you even have some of those fans say, "Oh, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about."
Exactly. I hear that all the time.
And I'm okay. Here's my deal. Put your expectations at 0-12. Here's why. Every damn win that they get, whether it's the Little Sisters of the Poor or the big rivalry game, now you're 1-11. And then you're 2-10. And you are now pleasantly surprised, as opposed to the 12-0 bullshit that everybody tries to do every year, no matter who your team is or whatever, you know. But that's why they play the game for 60 minutes. So that's why. And I don't know what Carson Beck version we're going to get. I don't know what's going to happen if some injury happens to somebody you're really counting on.
Exactly.
You know, and weird things happen. How are refs going to call a game? Weird stuff happens. At the end of the day, you're still banking on 18 to 22-year-old kids and overpaid coaches that haven't proven shit. So go 0-12, and every win that they get, and maybe you do get to that magical 12-0, then you're pleasantly surprised. But I am having my expectations low because I've been disappointed like crazy for the last 20 years as a Miami fan.
I get that.
Simple as that.
Oh, yeah, I get that.
And you had a once-in-a-lifetime dude in Cam Ward who's tearing it up for the Titans right now, and you still couldn't get there.
And the fans are starting their shit already. I'm seeing a lot of it. We're going 11-1. We're going to shock the world. 12. Shut up. Y'all been saying this shit for 20 years. And the thing about it, what pisses me off more than anything, some of these podcasts, James, you watch them, so you know some of the ones I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Homer City. They're selling you a dream of Bridget the Midget being a 6-foot woman. They lied to you, man.
They lied to you.
This is what you're going to get instead. So, I mean, bye-bye. So, yeah, bye-bye. Yeah. You're going to have other teams doing that to you. So, shoot. But, oh, my gosh.
Exactly.
Hey, guys, I got to actually run. I got to really get on this music.
No, man, you've been great. Two Pair, I'm so glad. Buddy, I'll see you Friday, okay? We'll get there and have it done.
Good to see you, man.
Later, man. Peace.
With y'all, Larry, Carrie.
Yes, sir,
brother. Later,
Love
bro.
you, dude. But yeah, but no, a great show, guys, you know, with the final 2 minutes and so forth. But yeah, no, I mean, I that's the one thing. I mean, Carrie, I share this with Larry every year. Me and Larry have been doing this like 7 years, 8 years now. 8 years now. 2017 is when we got together. But but the crazy thing is it's like Christmas morning when you're a kid. You know, you get there and it's like this for every fan base, you know, and listen, I love who I root for. And I guess if I would have grown up in small town Iowa and maybe been a big time Hawkeye or a Cyclone, whatever, you know, but you get up for it. And the crazy thing is, if you lose that first damn game, it's like the worst feeling in the. It's like I got socks, but I didn't get the video game I want. Like you're like that little kid or so, and it's like, no, that's a real thing when it comes to college football. College
It
basketball and
is.
these other sports is different because you can somehow be very lucky, be very,
Yeah.
Yep.
but
But college football drives the bus, man.
it
Drives
does,
it.
man. And you almost have to be near perfect. And now with these rules changing that
Yeah.
there really is no automatic bid, I mean, you better be flawless with that. And
Yep.
and then you look at Penn State. I mean, that schedule, I'm embarrassed for them. I'm embarrassed for any Penn
Oh
State
yeah.
fan that would tout that 12-0 thing.
Yeah.
Honestly.
They
I'd
won't go
laugh my
12
ass
and
off if
0.
they lost to somebody they weren't supposed to. And I'd be like,
They won't
serves
go
you.
12 and 0. James
No.
Franklin will lose a game somewhere down the
Oh,
line that he
All the
always does.
time.
I think
Ohio
Ohio State will name the score
Yeah, I believe
there.
so too.
I think they will. I really, and I'm no Ohio State fan. I promise you guys, but damn, it's like, wow, I mean, shoot. So, yeah. But
I think this year college football could be one of the most exciting years. I mean, we just had the first year of the 12-team playoff. Now everybody knows what they got to do. And I think that
And I
just makes
think
for even more excitement.
next year, if I'm not mistaken, is it 2026 or 2027 expanded to 16?
I
Which
think
year?
it's
27.
27, I believe.
27.
Yeah, because they had to do a 3-year contract or what
Yep.
have you, and then they the soonest they could change it was the 27 to expand it and
And
so
then
forth.
it's going to be really chaos. If when it goes
Yeah.
to 16, no buys, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, you want to know something though, guys, and I think this is what makes this as exciting is sure you've got some known commodities proven, but now they're the guy. Off the top of my head, the Jeremiah Smiths, the Arch Manning, the Cade
Yep.
Klubniks, these names. But Carson Beck, just to throw that name out there. But here's the truth of it. There's not a team that is like this super powerful, like
No.
they returned, everybody. And I think that's what makes this year fun because at the end of
Mhm.
the day, sure, one of the known
It's not like what
commodities
it
might
used to
be the
be.
one hoisting price team. Yeah, like I mean, it's controversial or not. I'll go back. Nobody was talking about LSU in 2003 when Saban and them won it.
Yep.
Like everybody was talking about the Oklahomas, Miami, Ohio State going back to back. Nobody was talking about LSU or USC
Mhm.
realistically, and
Right.
they were a split champion. And then USC went on their run. What I'm getting at is that you have that year where a team comes out of nowhere that nobody about, and they're just the perfect storm, no pun intended. And
Miami
yeah,
back in the 80s.
yes,
No one saw Miami
no one
coming in
saw that really
1980s.
coming.
No
And
one
then
saw them coming.
every year from 83 on, they were
Yeah.
always in the conversation.
They were always good.
Always.
It's not the
Well,
center
well,
of it.
well,
They were in it.
not just on a national championship, but just playoff wise, you're going to have a lot of unexpected teams make the playoff. Look at last year. Who would have expected a playoff field to have Boise State, Indiana,
Yep.
and SMU in, but teams like USC, Michigan, Oklahoma, and Miami out?
Out.
That was the first year. So imagine now that you're going to have so much more parity. And
Yep.
like I said, week one, you got 3 top 10 matchups, which I don't ever remember week one having 3 top 10 matchups ever. It's always about the top 25 matchups, but you got
Exactly.
3 top 10 matchups
Got
in week
3
one.
top 10 matchups.
Yeah. Yeah.
So 3
yeah.
top 10 teams, like I said earlier, are going to lose.
Yep.
Mhm.
And it's going to be some upsets outside of the top 10.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
buckle up, boys. It's about to be a wild and fun football season.
You brought something up, Larry, that I think about. I guess I just have not gotten over the allure or the luster of how exciting the Final Four was when all 4 number 1 seeds got there, and all 3 games lived up to the hype. I
Mhm.
guess what I'm getting at is I wonder how that college football playoff would have been last year had you had a Colorado or Miami with Shador and Travis Hunter and obviously Cam Ward be in there. Because I
Yeah.
felt like the playoffs were just kind of like blag,
They were
like
stale.
compared, and we talked about maybe there were not enough upsets in the NCAA tournament, but damn, those Sweet 16 games on were the big time matchups that,
Mhm.
Mhm.
lived up to seeds and players going up against each other. And I think that's why it was probably the most successful NCAA tournament in a long time from top to bottom. But that's basketball. I wonder in college football, you know, you want some of those big names in there, not just the brands, but if there's some players that are going to put asses on the seats, and then viewers watching the TV, that's a real thing there, guys. That's a real thing in my
I
opinion.
also think the seeding is going to be key this year because it's going to be a different seeding this year.
Yeah. There
There's
should
no
be
more.
there should not have been Tennessee
There's no-
versus Ohio State last year.
Had
and
they
then
used the seeding they're going to use this year, had they used it last year,
Yeah.
Tennessee gets a home game.
Yeah.
And you would have had different matchups. You may have had the same champion, but you would have gotten different matchups along the way. Now the seeding that's in place now, you're going to get, there's a possibility for some really good, if everything works out, there's going to be some great playoff matchups where every game is probably going to be must-see TV.
Do you want to know something though, guys? Can you think about this too? What I find really funny is, I wonder if that Carson Beck injury doesn't happen in that, does Georgia win it all? I've kind of said
That's
that
the question.
too. They were playing some really good ball there at the end of the year. And realistically, I mean, I just looked at like Notre Dame, they beat a wounded Georgia team, and then Penn State chokes that game away against Notre Dame. But again, like we talked about, Marcus Freeman, he did what he needed to. And, I think they did the best they could against Ohio State. I honestly thought I couldn't believe it was as close as it was. I thought it was going to be worse. But I guess what I'm getting at is that seeding is going to be important, and who the teams are and get those sexy matchups because was a snore. I mean, nobody gave a shit about SMU getting their shit pushed in by Penn State. Nobody cared about Notre Dame crushing Indiana. Indiana looked awful, and then Texas beat the absolute holy hell out of Clemson. I mean, Clemson looked very ordinary that night and showed that they didn't belong. I mean, they had the name, but they backdoored their way, but again, Boise State, too. I mean, yes, they had a nice little run with a great player, Ashton Genty, but at the end of the day, who have you really played? And like I said, I before you jumped on, Larry, I was surprised Arizona State was as high as they were when Scadaboo was the dude that really was their whole team, and now he's in the pros. So, are you ranking that based on the success of last year, or are you really banking on you've got something that can replace the heart and soul and a talented player like a
the one thing,
so,
the one thing I can say about this ranking, I always put more strength and more weight on the coaches poll because the coaches poll, you actually have the coaches. They know football, they're coaching. So if they feel a team is ranked a certain way, I go with them. The AP is a media poll, and it's just a bunch of sports writers that they're just like us. They just get paid professionally to have opinions, whereas we do it.
And if they hate somebody, they'll give somebody, a shitty ranking just out of spite. And it's like, did you even really see that, or are you just because you write for the rival team and you don't want them to have a first place vote or something like that? I've seen that many times, and that affected who went where and everything,
and vice versa. If they have a love affair with a team, that's why Alabama always got the #1 rankings most years, because the media loved Alabama, they loved Nick Saban. Ohio State, the usual suspects got voted high in the AP versus the coaches.
I could be wrong, guys. And listen, I have no doubt that Alabama's going to crush Florida State. I have no doubt about that. But I just don't think that there's going to be some loud voices if Alabama, loses to Georgia and everything like that. I mean, I just feel like the Borg, that seat is going to get really hot. And I just don't think they're going to be that great. They're not recruiting at the level that they are. And, Alabama prided themselves on, up front, controlling the ball with running backs, and then you use the pass and everything. It's, his fun and gun offense might work, but it's going to take a minute before they get that. And your best runner for Alabama last year was a quarterback that's now in the NFL. I mean, somebody's got to step up at that running back position, or you're very one-dimensional. And teams knew that. That's how they figured them out last year. And I just don't see Alabama. Yeah, I think their reign is done. I really believe that until Dabo gets there. Yeah,
they can't have They
Three of
can't
their
have
first-
another 4-loss season.
They can't. But 3 of their first 4 games, and I mean, they should crush Florida State. But then again, anything can happen. So I'm gonna play devil's advocate. What happens if they go to Tallahassee and lose?
Exactly. Yep.
You're 0-1. And remember, 3 of their first 4 games are Florida State, Georgia, and Wisconsin. Now Georgia's going to beat them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now you're conceivably 1-2. And what happens if they? Because I believe they go to Wisconsin. I don't think Wisconsin goes to Tuscaloosa.
I think they do go to Wisconsin.
No,
Yeah,
they go to Tuscaloosa because they went to Wisconsin last year. That's where Tyler Van Dyke tore his ACL.
Gotcha. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So they should win that game, but then again, it is Wisconsin. It's another Power 5 program. Never say never. So what happens if Alabama were to start 1-3 with their only victory being over the cupcake opponent that they have in week 2?
I think the Paul
before they play South Carolina and LSU
or the
everybody.
SEC. Yeah, I think the Paul Feinbaum show would explode because that's still an Alabama pro show, even though it's nationally syndicated and all that. I mean, that they would be running him out of town. There would be for sale signs in his front yard. There really would.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, I'll there, Larry. I really think that it's a possibility. I mean, I don't think. I mean, here's the thing: if Florida State somehow pulls that game off or whatever like that, and Miami loses to Notre Dame, you're going to have all your hater fans jump on Utah just to talk. Oh, look what Florida State did, But it's like, but here's the thing: did you beat Alabama, but did you beat the real Alabama? It's just like how Miami beat Oklahoma when Sam Bradford was out. We didn't beat the Oklahoma with Sam Bradford. That was fool's gold that year in 2009. Sam Bradford plays that game. They kicked Miami's ass just like they did the year before in Norman. I mean, facts. So I'm just saying that it's like, great, you beat Alabama, but did you beat the Nick Saban Alabama? But hey, I mean, more power to them. I think they're going to get their ass handed to them in Tallahassee. So, yeah.
These early games, there's going to be so much weight on these early games, especially these early conference games.
Yeah.
You talk about Georgia, 2-week stretch. They get Marshall first, but then they have Alabama and then Tennessee.
Yeah.
It's conceivable they could lose both of those.
1-2.
They could be 1-2. And then you look at Florida, the stretch that they got later in the year.
Yeah.
There are some huge SEC alone. Just if you took the SEC games alone, there's some big games. There's some momentum swing games. You could have some teams that weren't expected to do anything rise up, and the teams that were expected to do something fall down. The Big Ten, you have a little bit of that, but the SEC could control a lot of what says for everywhere else in college football this year.
Let me ask you guys this real quick, and
Easily.
we'll get into it obviously when we get to that first week, and it's only a couple weeks away. 25 days away, 24 days, something like that. So my question to you is this: who are you rooting for in that Texas-Ohio State game?
Oh, wow.
Who are you rooting for? I'll tell you who I'm rooting for.
I'm taking Texas because it's the lesser of two evils.
Well, I gotta go with Texas because, like I said, I'm a Miami fan, and you know how it is. I'm not Ohio State. Hell no, so Texas.
Yeah. Okay. So you guys have answered my question, and you said exactly what I was going to say, Larry. But I'm going to go a step further because here's why. I don't have any faith on what's left on that schedule for Ohio State that they don't run the table.
Exactly.
So with Texas, there's a good possibility they'll drop one. You know what I mean? There's a good possibility because the SEC is a gauntlet, and you got to bring it every week. Texas was damn lucky to beat Vanderbilt last year, honestly.
Yep.
You know that? And so I'm just saying that realistically, we need Texas to win that game because you're not a Texas fan per se, but there's a better chance of them dropping a game to help somebody else move up, because I look at the Ohio State, Penn State ain't going to do it. And then you need Ohio State to beat Penn State to, maybe get them out of the, to a lower seed or something like that. Cause they're going to run that table with everybody else, especially that they don't have Michigan.
I think it's bigger for Texas.
Yeah.
I think it's bigger for Texas because of the reason you said.
Yeah.
They're going to drop. They may drop one somewhere down the line. It'd be nice to
will.
have a hip pocket win over Ohio State in Columbus.
Yeah.
That carries a hell of a lot more weight.
Yeah,
You
because
beat them there.
realistically, Ohio State's game that's not in the shoe is on the road in Michigan the day after
Yep.
Thanksgiving, and
there's no
you know
guarantee.
they've got to win that this time. I mean, I keep thinking it's their year, and they
They've
find
lost.
a new way to freaking lose. I mean, I
They've
don't
lost
know.
4 in a row. They've lost 4 in a row.
They have not beaten. They have not beaten Michigan in like some. Charles Woodson brings it up to Herb Street all the time. I laugh my ass off about it, but it's like
Yep.
it's like up to like 1,800 days or something like that.
Since
Like
they've beaten Michigan in
yes,
Michigan.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, but I'm just saying, I look at matchups like who is the lesser of the two evils, because there's no way they're dropping a game. But like you said, Larry, that's why they play the games, and
Yep.
weird stuff happens. We didn't think we'd lose to Georgia Tech or Syracuse last year, and we did, and look what that happens. But here's the other thing too: these teams don't have Mario coaching them either. That, to be fair,
And I'll say this, going back to your point, James, if Florida State were to beat Alabama and Miami were to lose to Notre Dame,
oh my God,
and we get these Florida State fans on Utah, they can say what they want. You know what I'm going to tell them?
Mm-hmm.
You had more inches of snow in Tallahassee than you had victories.
Yep.
Last year with the blizzard.
Yep.
That hit us down here.
Yep.
And you want to talk about a coach on the hot seat? You let if Norvell gets that victory, he's safe.
Yeah.
Oh,
You just named him. You just made him safe for the next year, possibly 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
He may buy himself 2 years off of one win.
Do you know one thing that you guys mentioned earlier that I wanted to finish up with and so forth like that? It's funny how you all mentioned that when that game was signed, there was the possibility that, it was, Norvell, or not Norvell, I'm sorry.
Nick Saban versus,
and everything like that. And
Denver.
obviously, here's the other thing too. Jimbo got paid $83 million to get
to
lost.
leave.
To get lost. I wish a job would tell me, here's $83 million. Get the hell. Bye. It'd be like one of them cartoons where he grabs the little thing, is like that, and he's gone. Hitchhiking. Bye.
It was on a smaller scale, but down here with Coach O wasn't wrong. They paid him $17 million.
Paid him $17 million.
I remember the press conference when they asked him about it. Well, he gave me $70 million. All I got to say is, what do you want me to leave, and when do you want me on?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm telling you. So, yeah, I mean, that's what's just so exciting is that, like, I really believe that it is wide open in college football this year.
Yeah.
And we could, I mean, obviously I'd like to see my teams do well because I feel that my interest is invested when they do well. But again, when you lose week 1, it's like, what the fuck? Like, it sucks. Yeah. I mean, it really does. Especially, I mean, it looks like, look, if Miami loses to Notre Dame and by some grace of God runs the table and goes 11-1 with a chance to go to Charlotte, I think they should be put into the champion or in the playoffs. I think. I mean,
they will probably earn themselves a spot if you run the table at 11-1.
Yeah.
And get a good seat.
It's like who you lose to has to make a difference.
And when.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I'd rather get that loss out of the way at the beginning than what happened at the end, because then the wheels can really the hell fall off or whatever like that. But the other thing too is injuries. I mean, when you lose a key guy, and it just seems like they never really recover, and it's hard to recover mid-season, even with those turf toes or the hamstrings or just those weird injuries that, you're not at 100%, and then you try to push it. And then what happens is like what happened to poor Tyrese Halliburton in the damn playoffs or whatever, that the whole thing just tears or whatever. So I think about things like that. I mean, we could talk about it all night, but great show tonight, guys. And again, I can't thank you enough. And Shane and Two-Pair, and I know Nelson and Corey wanted to be on, but they had work obligations. And next week, I hope to get my supervisor on. He's become a fan of the show, and he's really shown me the ropes at my new job, and Farragut grad, and he wants to be on, and he loves what we're doing. So we're going to have a new panelist next week. I'm excited about that. So yeah, for sure. But guys, final thoughts before we wrap it up and everything like that. So Larry, you want to go first?
Yeah.
Oh man, I already gave the plugs for all our shows, man. I just want to shout you guys out. Thank you for having me on again.
Always.
I wanted to get on. I've been busy as hell, but I said, man, I know I'm going to be busy, so my time to be able to get on in the future, shows we're doing is going to be limited. So I said, let me jump on tonight and hang with you guys and talk some football and wrestling and all of that. And I've enjoyed it, and always a pleasure, man. And y'all just keep grinding and keep doing what you do.
Always. And what I'll do, Larry, is I'll still send you a link if you ever want to come on, even for like a brief minute, or always participate in the chat box if you're on the road or anything like that. We'd love to have you. And I know it's going to be hard with you guys doing that Wednesday show and so forth. And we're going to probably keep it on Wednesdays for right now, because West this year has some Thursday games, so it just will be hard to just
Yeah.
bounce it and so forth like that. I
Right.
mean,
Right.
we might move to Tuesday. I really have to just check with two pair and then everybody else's schedule, but we'll see what happens with that. But anytime you can come on, you're always welcome, brother. We appreciate that.
it.
And I can't wait to call in on Friday after we're done with our business on Friday night. Kerry, your final thoughts, bud?
Enjoyed being on again tonight. A lot of fun talking football, talking sports, talking just about life in general. Great stories, great tales. Really looking forward to what this season is gonna. We got high school, got college, NFL. I'm really looking forward to seeing what this season brings, because we got some. There's gonna be some unpredictability.
I think there is.
There's gonna be some chaos, and I'm looking forward to every single bit of it
in all levels. And Larry, real quick, I want to give a plug. Your old school, who has really come close to winning the state championship the last couple years, they got a hell of a task taking on. Is it American Heritage or what have you is coming to Louisiana to play?
Well, that's not my school. You talking about COR? No, that's not my
I'm
school.
sorry,
but
my bad. So
okay. No. But American Heritage is coming to New Orleans to play COR, which I kind of went back and forth with.
I saw that. Yeah, but I wanted to plug that because it's a big showcase game.
It's a nationally ranked game, because COR
Yes.
I think is ranked like 15th in the country, and Heritage I think is top 10. If I'm not
always
mistaken.
top 10.
Is that one of them? Is that going to be an ESPN national game?
Yeah, it is, and they're going to be in New Orleans. I think they're going to play it in the Superdome. I think.
That'll be a good ball game.
Yeah, they're going to have to, because COR is a 3A school, and even though COR can hold some people, I know the Heritage crowd is going to travel well, and then that's going to be that's going to be the marquee game. So they're going to have to move it to the Superdome.
I'll be tuning in on that weekend. I love those high school games.
I love those high school games, man.
But the irony of that real quick that I want to plug is American Heritage, which was formerly coached by Patrick Surtain.
That's right.
Patrick Surtain is an alumnus of COR High School. He won the state championship at COR as the quarterback in '93.
That's right.
Look at that. So that's pretty cool. So
talk about the word, the circle of football coming around again.
Look at that. So well, yep, absolutely. So I wanted to plug that, and I thought that was your school, Larry. So forgive me on that. I just knew that they were Louisiana.
I wish it was.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool, because but I hope that your guys, if they can get back there, I know it's been tough losing 2 years in a row, in the state championship, but maybe whoever's left on there's got it in them to get over the hump. I mean, at that point, because that's to get to those games is just special, but what you do there is obviously, if you can win it all.
This year might be the year. This year may be the year, because the last time we won, which was in 2019, the quarterback of that team, he got killed in a motorcycle accident in the spring.
Oh wow.
And our community was really torn up about that. So from what I was told, from what I've heard, they're going all in for him.
Yeah.
So
wow.
Third time might be the charm.
Might be the charm.
This might be able to bring it home. Yeah.
Absolutely. The only thing that I'm going to plug is that tomorrow, and Kerry, this used to be dear and near to your heart, because you remember those first days of school and so forth. And tomorrow is the first day of school for Knox County. Anybody that watches this show, just be careful. The cops are going to be out giving tickets, rightfully so. Don't speed through those school zones. For the kids at any level, have a great year. Just these years go by fast, and then you become an adult and a lot more responsibility. So enjoy it while you can. Don't rush to grow up. And for our football players, just keep doing your thing. I'm excited. Friday night, this Friday, Bill Wilson Field, 6 p.m. Catholic versus West. It's going to be the last scrimmage before it's go time. Next week is the Jamboree, and Saturday the 23rd is the first game and against Bearden, and it's going to be a great season, I really feel. But show up and obviously tune in to 332 Studios. We'll be calling the game live, and then of course come here to this channel, Rebels with a Cause 1324, for the post game live scrimmage, and we'll break it down and go from there. But for Shane, Two Pair, Carrie, Larry, everybody, the Rebels with a Cause family, throw them dubs up, baby. It's Rebels with a Cause, because that cause don't stop when the clock hits zero. Have a fabulous night. Love one another. And football's almost here, guys. We just got to get it done. Go Rebels. Go.